Hey everybody, we're live now. And look, there's an actual countdown right next to awkwardly bumping up right against Mr. Johnson's face. Um, I'll see if I can make things a little bit more comfortable for him. How's everybody doing? We're here to warm up and hang out.
Yeah, double checking my notes from last time. If I remember, we got riggedy wrecked.
Yeah, riggedy 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 wrecked. That's true. Yeah, we were being chased by some gang members.
Yeah,
And
some rude elves.
I think
Mm-hmm.
we didn't get
Very
wrecked as
rude.
much as your truck got wrecked, right, Austin?
Yes, but we're one and the same.
That's true. You are
We,
one of
we
the
share a
same.
soul.
Yeah, we got a chance to try out a little bit of the vehicle rules. Not too much of that. And our first combat, what did you all think?
Felt a lot smoother in this edition compared to fifth.
Yeah, I think last time we had sort of a cranky it's almost 1 in the morning kind of take on it. Um, but I really feel like a lot of that was just, man, this is different. And we were just getting used to it. But I think in hindsight, it did go smoother, and a lot of the hiccups we were having, I feel like were mostly just like searching through the book, figuring out what we could do with Edge. Oh, I messed something up. Oh, never mind. I can't change where the clock is for now. You're just gonna have to just people can still see your face. Just you know, make some room for the countdown clock. How's it going, Sarah?
I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's been busy. My daughter painted my nails recently, and it's not the first time she's ever done that, but it's the first time I've
Mm-hmm.
actually tried to remove because it was taking forever for the fingernail polish to come off. So I had literally my first encounter with fingernail polish remover today, and subsequently also had my first encounter with fingernail polish inside cuts all over my fingers. Um, that wasn't pleasant.
So, what color did you do your nails?
Mermaid Magic alternated with, um, oh, what was it? Like unicorn glitter.
Ooh,
So it
what's
was
the
like it
unicorn
was like
magic? Like a
it was like a it was like a tealish kind of almost a little bluer than Opti's green screen there, which I'm about to filter. But the and then the other one was like a really glittery purple, alternating every other finger because she's in kindergarten. She's learning about patterns, so
Mhm.
she had to do a pattern.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Feel free to talk about something more apropos that our audience will care about. I'm just doing my job filling dead air.
Yeah,
Thanks for the subs, Sister Chrissy and Palmer.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, guys.
trying to think anything else fun I've done lately. Went to the local Renaissance fair last Sunday.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Man, another sub from Nubasaur. Thanks. So
Thank
what?
you.
Ren fairs. I have not been to a Ren fair since I was in. We were just talking about the SCA, which I was a part of in high school, and Sarah is a part of, and I haven't been to a Ren fair since I was in the SCA in high school. So that was many
We've
many
got a
years ago.
pretty good one in our area.
Bristol?
The Bristol
It's
Renaissance
so
Fair. Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's one of the best.
Yeah.
I haven't made it there for the last couple of years, but we
Oh,
used to make it down there once a year. I
I
think I'll
go
make a
every
point of
year.
heading down there this year, especially since I'm not going to be able to make it to Origins. I can salve that a little bit by making a trip to the Ren Fair.
Yeah, get some meat and turkey legs, and I swear the one that I went to, they have the best fish and chips I've ever had in my life. I don't know what it is.
I
It's a
have
blast. Like there's no other activity where I'm that comfortable, like
sure,
getting so dirty and sweaty, but like still
right,
have a blast.
right.
Oh yeah. And some people just put so much work into their costumes too. It's amazing.
I remember when the kiddos were very little, we would totally play along with the fairies, with the whole adults can't see them, but the kids can.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
That's
Played
See,
along
fun.
with the fairy
Austin,
actors for that. We had a great time with that.
That's so cute.
Austin, CC Master in the chat room says, and I'm telling Austin because Austin can't see the chat room. Just so you know, it's not because Austin can't read, like many people on the internet think, like the rumor on the
Yeah.
internet is. Um,
Yeah, that's it.
Austin, have you checked what it cost you to repair the damage your car got in game?
I have not checked yet. However, I was just looking at the jury rigging rules because I have the jury rigger quality, so I get an extra edge dice whenever I'm doing that. And it looks like it'll keep the truck going for a few more minutes when we really need it.
Ooh.
But in the meantime, that's probably going to be fairly costly. After we get our last paycheck, I'm going to have to take that from my cut.
Well, the truck wasn't destroyed, was it? It just took a big chunk of damage.
Yeah, no, it took about 8 boxes out of the 14.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so I guess before we dive too much into that, why don't we just go ahead and do a proper recap? You all got to get together for a job. Why don't you go ahead and describe the job from your point of view? What is it that you're setting out to do?
All right. Before we do that, because I think that's an awesome idea, I want to run our stinger to get started here.
Oh,
Do you
right.
mind? Do you
Okay.
mind? All right, let's do that. We have a minute left on the timer, but that's actually not accurate for some reason. It says
Oh,
we
I
have a minute.
suppose we're like killing time till the timer goes down, aren't we? Never mind. I guess I'm trying to move these things along too quickly. Then we're starting to go into the previous events, so.
You're doing fine. You're trying to do your job as a GM and keep things paced properly.
Well, I'll just take this moment to see if I can look up if there's any repair costs listed in the new core book.
Yeah, I see some DCs that I can hit, but that's going to be a much more extensive, not during the run kind of check.
Mr. Stonebender, Chris is in the chat room. He says he's disappointed that he won't be able to bother you directly because you're not watching Twitch chat.
I'm sure he'll find some way.
Your phone starts going off.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, well, we have 25 seconds left. I had the photo shoot for the promotion for Kickstarter this past weekend. So if you watch Facebook for Rem Alternatives Productions, there are going to be some pretty cool cyberpunk fantasy pictures coming up.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
I'm trying not to like wiggle in excitement too much because I got to hold still.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and hit our stinger. We're gonna get started. You guys ready? Y'all ready for this?
Ba-na-na.
There you go. I knew I could
Hope
get.
so.
I knew I could get Opti to say something. All right. Here we go.
I'm easy to get.
Hey everybody, we are here finally live again after 2 weeks from the last one with our Shadowrun 6th edition preview live actual play. My name is Bobby and I am one of our players here. This game is being run by our resident Shadowrun game master, Mr. Johnson. And say hello, Mr. Johnson.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight, and how is everybody else? I'll go ahead and introduce everybody else after Mr. Johnson tells me how he's doing.
I'm doing well. Looking forward to playing this some more. This will be, I think, my 4th session total running this game. Well,
Fourth
this game
session
system.
total. That's right, because you're not just doing it with us, you're also doing it on your actual play podcast. Tell everybody what that is and where they can get it real fast.
Oh, just it's on the regular Arcology podcast feed. So search up the Arcology podcast anywhere you find podcasts, I guess, or on Shadowcasters.network. And yeah, look for the SR6 campaign. It's a brand new campaign that we started with new characters, but familiar voices, familiar players. And we've only got one session recorded of that, which we've already released. We're going to be playing the next one, I think, tomorrow, if all goes well.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, if you
Cool.
you can get more 6th edition exposure doing that. Next, I'll go to the right of me and say hello to Sarah Kraus, the brilliant mind behind Rem Alternis Productions. Tell everybody what that is and why you're doing here, and tell us if how you're doing, and just talk.
Just use words.
Yeah.
So I'm the owner of Rem Alternis Productions, and we are producing a cyberpunk fantasy series, or gearing up to. So our first Kickstarter goes live in July, and that'll actually be announced on social media next week. So super exciting, and I looked it up yesterday. It's like T minus 53 days, which means my stress level is like super high right now. But it's super fun. We have a lot of cool art and photo shoot photos coming, and a lot of cool content to kind of show the concept of what we're doing. But it's going to be a blast. So you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Rem Alternis and Rem Alternis Productions. But yeah, I'm super excited.
Awesome. Great to hear. Below Sarah is Opti of the Neo Anarchist podcast. How you doing, Opti?
I am doing great. I had somebody ask me to come over and mow their lawn today, and so I did, and their lawn was like 40,000 times bigger than I had anticipated. So
Ha!
I'm like super low on energy. So I
Joke's
made
on
myself
you.
a cocktail, and things should be all right.
Yeah, you mowed someone's lawn.
But that's only a part of what I do. The rest of what I do is the Neo Anarchist podcast, which is an in-character history of the Shadowrun universe. So if you're looking to get into it, if you're like, what's the Shadowrun thing? And I hear there's a new edition, then I have something for you, pal. It's Chip Truth. And then also we have another podcast called Shadowrun Origins, which is my crew and Mr. Johnson going through some of the old first edition Shadowrun modules, which kind of gets you into the history. We're all about the history. We think that's important. I do a couple of other things like the Optiverse and other stuff with the Shadowcasters Network. But you know what I'm here for? I'm here to play some Shadowrun 6th edition.
That's right.
Yeah.
I see in the
I'm here to mow lawns and play Shadowrun, and I'm all out of lawns.
Man, what more neo-anarchist? How much more neo-anarchist can you get than that, right?
That's right.
I see in the
Only
chat
if we
room.
stole it from Catalyst would that be more Shadowrun.
I see in the chat room that we're starting a rumor that the 6th edition core rulebook has no binding at all. So
I mean, it's PDF,
PDF.
so I guess not.
hey,
The PDF that we have has no binding. That's true.
That's true.
There's no binding in the core rulebook at all.
Yeah. And finally, we have Austin of Crit Squad fame. Austin is the GM over at Crit Squad. Is that correct?
Yeah, at least I like to think so.
That's good. So, how are you doing tonight? And tell everybody where they can find Crit Squad, and then we can get going. We can get started.
All right, yeah. No, everything's been fantastic over here. Last Friday, we released the first episode of Season 3 of Crit Squad. It clocks in almost an hour and a half. You can find it at critsquad.com, as well as links to our brand new Patreon. We've got some coffee mugs, posters, things up there. And yeah, tune in.
Do it! All right. So, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to let you take it away.
All right. Well, last time you all met up in the South Milwaukee district of Chicago, which is in the northern part of Chicago. Currently, pretty much Ares territory for the most part, but lots of new money from the corporations that are moving in to take advantage of the opportunity to reinvest in revitalizing Chicago, which, as those of us who know the Shadowrun lore well know, has suffered from a really nasty insect spirit infestation, followed by nuclear bombs and magical diseases designed to kill spirits, and
That's like the most Midwestern way to describe that, right? Like, oh, it was a real nasty bug infestation.
yeah, it's just
It's
it's
home
really
sweet
kind of
home.
it's pretty unpleasant overall. It's pretty bad winter.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Oh yeah.
So yeah. With that, yeah, I guess Chicago's sort of been a feral city for some time, with a big wall built to keep the worst of it contained in a certain area, which is called the containment zone, the CZ. And you all, as a team of Shadowrunners, have been hired to go into the CZ to make sure that information that might exist there is never found.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. We had to go. Well, we were on our way.
So let's all actually, before we introduce the run the rest of the way, let's go around and introduce everyone's characters. Austin, why don't you begin?
Yeah.
Introduce your character.
I'm Skipper.
And,
I'm a combination rigger face with my once beautiful pickup truck Dom.
Once beautiful. Your pickup truck's name is Dom? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
I didn't. I wasn't.
Of course, it's got a name.
I didn't catch. I mean, of course, yes. I just didn't catch it last time. That's all. I would expect nothing else from a experienced, seasoned rigger such as yourself. What happened?
all right,
to
then Opti, how about you? You're the team's decker.
I am playing Jin, who is the most fabulous brute force decker you've ever seen. He's into high fashion and only uses products by Shiawas-Ye. And he's here to deck your stuff and look fabulous doing it.
Deck your stuff. I like that.
he's here to yeah. We'll come up with something catchy for that. But.
All right, and then Danen, our magical support.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Danen prefers the subtle approach, rather get in and get out unseen. Doesn't like a lot of attention. A little awkward, so.
All right,
yeah.
And last of all, we'll see if they can stop Bobby, who's playing the team's weapon specialist.
Rooster. Rooster is he's an orc, former Ares Firewatch, and he had to burn his sin for one reason or another, and he's the orc combat point man who takes his position, as I've been saying, takes his position on the team too seriously for his own good sometimes, and wishes he had a sense of humor.
What would it take to get Bobby to play an entire show with fake tusks?
It would take fake tusks, number one.
I know people.
Done.
Number two, well, you know, maybe we have a thing coming up next week that we might be able to. We're looking for a milestone goals for, and this is a good opportunity to tease that real fast. I'm not going to go into detail because we want to get started with the game. But
hey, thanks, Big Dog Wyatt, BT Dubs.
Yeah, thanks for the
appreciate you.
Absolutely. But yes, every year, this is no secret, so it's not like a secret announcement or anything, but you guys know that every year the Shadowcasters Network, or I should say fans of the Shadowcasters Network, there's probably a lot of new people here who might not be familiar, but every year the Shadowcasters Network relies on you guys and support from our fans and viewers and everything to keep us going. So every year we do a summer fundraiser, and we launch that usually sometime around May or June, and next week is when we're starting that up, and it usually peaks and ends with a 36-hour streamathon that we're going to be doing in towards the end of June. But for about 30 days before then, we're going to have a whole big fundraising thing, and we like to put milestones in there, and if you guys help us reach those, do fun things. And maybe one of them will be, I'll try to do one, maybe more whole episodes wearing orc tusks the whole time. I've never worn them before, so it might be hard to talk.
So what you're saying is challenge accepted.
I'll do it. I'll do anything for money.
Right?
So I'm a Shadowrunner
word
after
for
all.
There's a word for that.
Well, I don't know what it is, so let's get going.
All right, so the four of you are currently inside a recently beat up pickup truck that is sort of driving its rickety way down the highway south from South Milwaukee towards Chicago proper. And there you need to get into the CZ, which is walled off and watched by Lone Star. Normally, it would probably be just a matter of flashing your fake sins, maybe a smile, and driving on through the checkpoint. But now you have a vehicle full of bullet holes, which means it's driving not so well, but also might also attract more attention. So now that you're in this position, what's your next move?
Skipper, how many times have you gone through the CZ? Are you familiar with these types of protocols?
Yeah, usually the protocols, you hand them 100 New Yen cred stick, and they'll wave you on through. Getting back's a little tougher.
All right, thanks for the sub plateau. All right, so you're talking about a bribe.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it's worked in the past, at least. Lone Star. You hand them a couple cred sticks to let you get away with just about anything.
That's been my experience in the past too. I'm willing to do it. How much do you think it'll take?
Let's see. There's usually 2 or 3 guards there. $50 each to let us in. I'm just wondering how we're going to get back out, especially with all these bullet holes. But
What are the chances of sneaking through?
if we could find a breach in the wall, but that's probably unlikely.
Yeah, there's a very thick, tall cement wall surrounding the CZ, pretty much on all sides, and it's pretty thick and well maintained. And there are spirits and mages patrolling, as well as drones patrolling up above, razor wire on the top, and then actual Lone Star officers and patrol vehicles driving up and down on both sides, with very specific open checkpoints where, in some cases now, there's a lot of traffic that goes in and out in a few places, and they don't slow a lot of it down, but they do have lots of scanners up, and they are certainly going to be checking for system identification numbers of any vehicle passing through there and pulling over anyone looking suspicious.
You think with some New Yen to grease their palms, you can talk us through this, Jin? Or Jin's not the face.
I could absolutely try, my friend, but I think we should probably leave that to the person who gets paid to do so.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
However, what I can do is lend my good looks and my encouragement.
Well, that hopefully should be enough to get us through.
Maybe you can monitor their comms chatter at the same time to make sure we can be warned ahead of time if things are getting a little shaky.
I am also not above making promises of the carnal kind. And yet I won't follow through. I just want to make that clear. I'm rather chaste, all things considered.
That's a weird.
Hopefully, it won't get to
offer
that
of
point.
strategy.
I agree. Since we're talking about options.
Yes.
So I will mention as a GM at this point that as far as edge is concerned, since we're at the beginning of a new session, all of your edge resets so that you have a number of edge points equal to your edge attribute.
Oh yes.
I needed that.
Refresh that edge pool.
Thank you.
Danen.
Don't thank him. It's in the rules.
Thank you, Shadowrun.
I should mention, Skipper, if you do somehow manage to gain access both to parts and at least an automotive or engineering tool kit, you should be able to attempt repairs in your vehicle. It's an extended test with 1 hour per test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, I usually keep a toolkit in the back. It's a matter of, do we want to spend a couple hours downtime so I can patch up some of these holes, repair some broken lines? Or
At this
are we
point,
in...
at this point, unless you have access to additional parts, the most you could repair would be 1 point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got my contact, Jacob. I'm sure he's not terribly far away. No, do you think...
Who's Jacob?
Jacob Kovar. He's a best friend from childhood. He's vehicle and drone repair / fence. Runs a junkyard.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, we'll say that he has a junkyard kind of near Waukegan, which is a smaller district kind of northeast of the main part of Chicago. Kind of on the border of what used to be Wisconsin to Illinois at that point, but now it's just sort of the Chicago sprawl.
Yeah, so it's not too far out of our way then, is it?
You could swing by that way if you want.
All right.
It is still
everyone all right with
fairly
that?
early. It is still fairly early in the evening. We'll say about 9 p.m. at this point.
I'm fine with whatever you guys think. I'm here for when the Drek hits the fan.
All right. Yeah.
I'd rather the direct didn't hit the fan.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'd certainly like to have Dom in a little bit better shape than this for whatever's on the other side of that wall waiting for us.
It's a fair point.
It kind of did hit the fan and like sprayed all over your rigger's truck. So
Yeah. So let's go get ourselves a truck wash.
All right. Yeah, gonna go ahead, give Jacob a call.
all right, you give Jacob a call. A couple rings in, he picks up. Hey, Skipper, good to hear from you. What are you up to this weekend? Anything interesting?
Hey, so it's a little bit late. Working a job right now, and some ancients came up and just blasted the side of Dom. I don't have any spare
Agents of
parts with
who?
me. Ancients.
Oh, ancients? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You know, the Elven Go Gang.
Yeah, I know those guys. I pay them some protection money. They typically leave me alone. What'd you do to piss them off?
Well,
Never mind. I don't need to know.
Fair.
Yeah, I didn't pay the protection money. That'll do it. Actually, it doesn't really take much. I mean, they're a bunch of pompous. Well, anyway, so what's going on? They messed up your ride?
Yeah, I got shots going all up and down the sides, and a couple busted pipes in there at the end, just making some interesting noises.
Man, the tow truck is kind of out of the commission at the moment. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to pick you up too quick. I'll have to see if I can get somebody else to go in and pick you up.
That's all right. Yeah, maybe after we finish this job, we can kick back for a couple beers.
Sorry, you were cutting in and out there. What's your position?
Oh, just outside. Well, I'll drop him a pin.
Okay, so are you at all mobile there?
We can get out of the area a little bit. I don't want to drive too far.
All right. Well, sounds good. Why don't you just bring it on over at the shop if you're mobile? Then, if your run flats are still running, you should still at least have a few minutes in those.
Yeah, I think I can make it run for a couple more minutes.
All right, I'll get ready with what I can here.
All right, thanks, Chummer.
So a few minutes later, you're pulling into Jacob's place, which is a junkyard, fairly well organized, but lots and lots of stuff piled around. Wide variety of different ages. The majority of it seems to be vehicle parts, but there's a wide variety of bits of electronics and circuit boards stacked around here and there as well. And there's a large sort of corrugated metal shed building with lots of exterior and interior lighting. And once you actually get inside the place, it's kind of this bizarre, disorganized-looking fab lab.
All right, yeah. Well, I'm gonna pull up truck next to the workshop.
As you pull it around to the garage door entrance, which oddly enough has to open and close manually. And lets you inside.
All right.
Hey, on the job with the team and everything.
Yep.
Cool. Well,
Yeah, it really kind of threw a wrench in our plans.
Yeah, I think. Damn, they shot the dreck out of this. Ugh. I think they hit the engine.
Mm-hmm.
Rooster jumps out of the truck with his strapping his assault rifle onto his back and making sure he has all the stuff with him and kind of like straightens his jacket and he says, and yes, and like you said, we are on the job, so time is a little bit precious if we could get started.
All right, he gives a bit of a nod and flicks his hand and gestures, and some of the junk suddenly moves, and an arm raises up, and this little tracked thing with a robotic arm moves on over, grabs a toolbox and comes on up nearby.
I jump and
All right,
put
let's
my
get
hand
started.
on the Ares Predator in my holster, and then calm down. Whoa, you might want to warn somebody next time. I almost blew that thing to Kingdom Come.
Easy
He's
there,
a little
Tex.
high-strung.
Yeah, I'd rather you not shoot anything inside of my place. Why don't you patrol the perimeter or whatever it is you do?
Good idea. Those gangers might be after us.
Is there a large pile of parts that I can stand behind after he gets handsy with his gun?
There are quite a few, yes.
Okay.
There seems to be some sort of sense of organization, but nothing appears to be labeled. And
Yeah,
at that
be
point,
kind of casually browsing around, looking, just like, that's a rare old part in there. I'm surprised you found that. Small talk.
and Jacob says, "Yeah, well, hey, your friend seems pretty antsy about us getting going with things, so I'd love to chat and catch up and everything, but if this is business, we need to talk business. So I can fix up your ride. I don't know if you want to do the work, you want me to do the assist, or you want me to fix things up while you take care of things."
Yeah, I got to get in with my own hands and fix it up, but definitely pay you for parts, and if you got the time to help out, very, very welcome.
Okay, and he'll more or less bring it up that you'll have the option to either pay him in new yen up front here, which will cost you probably several hundred new yen overall, or you can owe him a favor.
I don't have a lot of new yen right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take the favor.
Okay, so he will assist you along with his drone, giving you 4 extra dice to your engineering plus logic test. And you also have a shop, so that adds 1 extra die to that as well. So that takes 1 hour per test, and it's an extended test, so let me know how many times you're going to do it. And each hit that you get on the test is 1 box of damage repaired on your vehicle.
All right, you said he's adding 4?
Yep, 4 dice.
All right, and I've got a base of 8 for that, so I'm rolling a grand total of 12. Got 4 hits.
Okay, so after the first hour, you're mostly doing some body work here and there, patching things up, using the nano repair gels here and there that sort of regrow over the bullet wounds. They don't take too much to heal up, but there's some further internal damage, and you're having to go through and run through and replace some wiring and some various components that were hit here and there, and it just takes a while to pin those down. In the meantime, the drone has located a part of the engine that's been damaged, and it's sort of sliced off a chunk of it and brought it over. It's been scanned and melted down while the machine prints out a new section of it that it's going to put in place with nano welding components. As you move on to, I guess, the second hour of repair, or are you going to kind of patch it up and sit with that?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead to the second hour just because I'm still down 1 set of condition modifiers, so I'm still running at a -1.
Okay, so an hour passes as they're busily working on the vehicle. Go ahead and make another roll with one die off because it's an extended test.
All right, so that's 11 dice. I got 5 boxes, which completely repairs the rest of it.
Yeah, so the damaged engine component is sort of put into place and bonds with all the other nearby areas with a quick flash, and then you're replacing some of the body panels that were damaged too far. And at the end of 2 hours, the truck looks just completely restored like new.
Fantastic. Man, can you imagine what it was like doing this 60 years ago? You have to order new parts and manually put it all on there.
Yeah, screw that, Direct. I mean, I've got a bunch of spares out there for some of the purists. They pay an extra premium. I figured you want things done fast and you want them done right.
Of course.
All right, get it out there and, well, try not to get it shot up again.
Thanks, Ome. All right, let's go and collect Rooster from the perimeter.
Out there, very diligently establishing eyes on the perimeter.
Yeah. All safe out there?
It's looking good, Skipper.
All right. Let's get ready to move.
Everything's taken care of, I take it?
Yep.
You pull the vehicle out, and if you like, Jacob would have offered to give you a color change as well. So hopefully, if you run into any more of those ancients, they won't recognize the truck on sight.
Yeah, we can do a quick color change. Go from the... I imagine it was probably like a light blue. We'll change it over to like a burnt orange.
All right, so burnt orange, shiny new looking vehicle comes pulling out. It's it's a Toyota Gopher, right? Like a pickup truck.
Yep. 4-door pickup truck.
Everyone piles then in. You get back on the road, and it's getting close to midnight. Then, as you're pulling in close to the CZ, and there's the highway leading into one of the main entrances into the CZ. Traffic is fairly light at this point, but it's moving through relatively quickly. You're supposed to go down to about 35 kilometers per hour to pass through the wall. And there's all sorts of AR warnings popping up and insurance waivers and very, very, very discouraging sounding wording to scare off the wage slaves. But of course, no mention of there being an actual bug threat at all, because Ares is taking care of that. There's no bugs in Chicago, of course.
Of course.
Everybody knows this.
So as you've been passing through this part of Chicago, it's shiny and new and lots of big, fancy, tall buildings and city lights. Busy nightlife. And you approach the big wall of the CZ. Who's going to be transmitting an identification, a system identification number? If so, like say whether or not you are and what rating it is if it's fake.
I'm going to use my rating 2 sin, Antonio Rivas.
Wait, hold up. I have a rating 4 sin. That might help us out.
Yeah.
Well,
Even better.
So I will be transmitting my rating 4 sin under the name Staniel Ray.
Probably more than one of us will need to, because I mean, it's not like you get
Right.
one for everyone. But so
You're instructed to slow down. You
Yep.
can assume that they're going to be scanning the vehicle, and if there's like multiple people and only one sin being transmitted, that might look suspicious. But doesn't mean you all have to transmit. But maybe at this point, it seems a little bit less plausible to just have one of you transmitting. So,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
rating 2 is a bit, that's kind of iffy whether or not that would survive passing through here.
Going through? Okay, I'll bump up to my sin 3 then. Jefferson Glass.
and I'll be transmitting my rating 4. His name is Maximum Steel.
I wonder if like I wonder if like Game Master shouldn't be like, really, your name is like max power.
I did.
like maybe that right there should cause your sin rating to like take a hit.
I would have
like a situational modifier. Like
I had to
your
come up
name
with a
is
name.
like
I had to come up with a name on the fly. I forgot to come up with one. So hey, chat
name
room,
is
come up with a
Mean
good one for
Green.
me.
I'm so proud of you right now.
Max headroom, yeah. But yeah, I do have a rating 4, and I also have firearms licenses, cyberware licenses. I have a license for all of my cyberware. I paid for them separately.
All right.
They're all those licenses are rating 4 as well.
What about Danen? Are you transmitting a sin or no?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and transmit. I have a rating 2. It's sad, and it's Selina Dion.
Blast hard cheese.
Celine Dion.
Oh, I
also
missed
did
that.
not think of one ahead of time. That was the first thing that popped into my head.
I like how you changed it just enough, though.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see if anyone would catch it.
Oh, I love it.
Deline Sion.
Selina Dion.
I like it.
So you drive on through into the CZ. You slow down as directed and drive on through. You can almost feel the scanners looking over you, and maybe there's mages are sensing you as you're going through. You're just trying to lay low and don't look at me, and you pass on through and breathe a sigh of relief as you just go along with a couple of other vehicles. Just another vehicle passing on through, and you've made it. And that's when you see then the cherries and berries lighting up behind as a patrol car has pulled out and is now approaching you from behind.
Don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me.
All right.
So I wonder if I can. Well, whatever. I'll save my tricks for later.
That might be a good idea, actually, Jin. Give him something a little bit more urgent to look at than us.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Is maybe I could spoof something, that would be a little bit more urgent.
Yeah, maybe a major drug bust in one of the other cars, or I don't know.
Yeah. So would that be a spoof command, or do I have to get in their network first?
What are you trying to do again?
Like send a signal as if it was coming from like their headquarters to like go somewhere else.
Yeah, I guess that would be a spoof command. You would command one of their devices to display the message that you want, or the directive
All right,
or
so
command.
this is an illegal deal. So it's cracking plus logic versus their data processing, or pilot and firewall. And you could use this as an outsider user or admin, so I don't need access. Is my understanding that right? Or do I need?
That's right. You can just go ahead and do it.
Okay. So cracking plus logic. Let's do this. My logic is 6. My cracking is 6. I have a specialty of hacking. So does this count?
I would say so.
All right. So we're gonna roll 14 bones.
Let's see. What's your attack rating?
My attack rating is
for hacking.
8. Wait, what do you mean? Like, is my for on my cyber deck, or what is my cracking rating?
Well, there's whenever you do a hacking test, you're going to have an attack rating to compare to the defense rating.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's based on, I think, the device rating plus one of your matrix attributes. It might be attack plus device rating. I'm not sure. I don't think you're going to be outside of 4 for that, so there's no edge there. But if you're going hot sim, I think you get 1 point of edge for doing hot sim, if I'm not mistaken.
So my attack rating is 8, essentially. That's what you're asking.
Okay, so that's not going to be in excess of 4.
Well, actually, let me see. Distribute edge under the decking section says your attack rating is the persona's attack plus sleaze.
Okay.
So like that's huge. That's 15.
Oh,
So-
yeah. In that case, you get an edge for that.
All right.
And,
Well, since this is the only time I'll really be using this particular edge, because when I'm not doing anything to this guy, it'll go away again. I'm going to temporarily increase my matrix attribute by 1 for this rating or for this test. So my spoof actually doesn't matter. So whatever. I'm just gonna roll my dice and let the stuff happen. One, two, 3 successes. Oh, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
All right. That's as many as your opponent got, but basically, as far as I know, attackers win on a base level on a tie. So that's enough to pull off your spoof command on the basic level there.
Cool. So what he receives is a command from his dispatch saying that there is an attack by I don't know. We're irritated with the ancients, right? So the ancients are attacking the spire building, and all units please respond.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say that works. They're going to be called off. They pull off to the side, but however, the police officer does take a moment to issue the command where Denen, you take a look at your fake sin. You can see that it is now burned. It is marked as a fake. If you use or transmit it, it's just automatically illegal.
Damn.
Oh, snap.
My sin or
Nope, Denen's.
Denen's.
Hers
No,
did not
not
survive the sin scan.
Silent.
She had a rating
I
2.
knew I was taking a risk.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't
they're
want to
ready.
cast invisibility yet, though.
Yep,
Sorry, I
they're
got a
ready.
forger in my contacts. We'll work it out later.
So yeah, it's not enough for them to deal
Thanks.
with an actual threat on the board, but they took a moment to press the button to burn that sin.
Don't worry, your heart will go on.
Get out.
So you find yourselves in Chicago in the CZ. Here, things look a lot more gritty. There are some buildings that are closer to the wall here that are in better repair, some new construction, some maybe restored original buildings here and there. But yeah, very close within your field of vision, you can see would appear to be like old, burned out or gutted out or decrepit, falling apart ancient buildings that aren't lit up. They're kind of dark against the silhouette of the light pollution behind, and you realize that you're outside of civilization and inside an area that it's urban, but it's dangerous. It's definitely a feral place.
It's time to stay on your toes, people. I want eyes on our perimeter. Make sure we're watching for threats incoming.
I'm going to lean towards the others. I believe I'm sitting shotgun, so I'll lean in the back and say, "Excuse me, this area does not look extraordinarily sanitary. Does anybody have any pocket sanitizer by any chance?"
I pull out a little small thing of hand sanitizer and hand it to him without looking. Like it's just like, like.
Cool. I take it and I pocket it for later.
You can keep that one.
I was planning to. Thank you.
You're welcome. I was
yeah.
always come prepared.
Cruise on up and probably stop about a block away from our intended building.
Okay, as you drive around, the city just has this sort of weird, eerie, post-apocalyptic look to it. You see very few people moving around, and the few that do seem, furtive and they kind of move away from the light as if they don't want to be noticed or seen moving about as they as they go about whatever it is they're doing in the city here, and they have a bit of a ragged look. Equally wanting to be avoided by you is the locations where there are different corporate operations, where there's lots of bright lights and big machines, vehicles coming and going, lots of drones and guards, and they're working on reclaiming this or that spot, and you want to steer clear of those spots as well. But it's easy enough to avoid those threats, and there don't seem to be any gangs roaming around, though lots and lots of graffiti suggests that there has been turf that's exchanged hands many, many times over the recent decades. You find a spot where you can potentially pull around. Give me a perception test as you're looking for a good spot to find to stop nearby, close to your objective, but not too close.
All right, so that's 7 dice total. 4 hits.
Nice.
2 successes. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, thanks chat for that Shadowrun macro.
You're catching little glimpses of movement here and there on your sensors. Just a skipper there. You think there might be like feral dogs or devil rats or something here and there on the edges of things, but it doesn't look like there's any people about here, and it looks like you've got a fairly clear, like, open parking spot area back here. There's a couple of other vehicle wrecks you could park near that should shield you from easy observation, but you can get in and out easily enough.
All right, I'm going to let Rooster know then, so you can keep your eyes open. I got a little bit of movement, shouldn't be anything too bad, but better be prepared. And I'm going to jump into my MCT Hornet. It's a little winged drone, probably yay big.
Would you guys like me to scope around outside?
That'd be excellent. I'm going to go zip in through the building, see what kind of defenses I can find, as well as where our final data safe we're going to be blowing up is. If you want to check the astral, that'd be fantastic.
Jin, as you're taking a look at the area in the Matrix, as well as a skipper who's plugging into their RCC and jumping into a drone, you're definitely picking up on the Matrix infrastructure here seems pretty weak. You're looking at a basic noise level of 2.
Okay.
That means -2 to Matrix actions unless you can compensate, which you probably can.
I can, but it costs some edge every time, and which is fine. So we'll just have to play it by ear.
And Dinen, as you shift to astral perception, or are you projecting?
Projecting. I want to see how it feels before I go too far from my body.
Okay. Immediately when you project astrally, you leave your body and you see it down there and the auras of your friends. You can definitely tell that there is a thick, soupy, very unpleasant haze here. It's a complex blend of emotions, none of which are nice. Fortunately for you, there's no background count mechanics in 6th edition, so it doesn't affect you except for flavor text wise. I'm going to rule that in some situations that things may get edge against you. So it's sort of a situational thing that I'm making up, I suppose. But yeah, it feels icky here, like bugs and bombs and disease and death.
This is how I feel around people.
For the benefit of our watchers, I have a program running on my cyberdeck called Signal Scrubber, which reduces noise by 2. So I am immune to this greasy Chicago noise filth.
Nice.
Ooh.
Because I don't only scrub my hands, I also sanitize the matrix around me.
You're also a
So
corp goon,
fresh
so you're
and
just
so
dirty
clean.
in general.
Oh, such biting words for such a pretty girl.
And Rooster, taking a look
I'm
around with your own eyes, It looks dark and quiet. It's definitely a quieter, more dead scene that you're normally used to seeing in a city. This is the CZ, all right. There's a skitter of movement here and there on the edge of things, but nothing solid.
Yeah, I've got my smart link on, my Ares Desert Strike out and ready, and my Cyber Eyes activated with, low light and flare compensation, vision enhancement, everything, like all the works, and I'm taking in everything very carefully. I'm twitching, well, not twitching, but I can definitely feel the buzz of my wired reflexes, on edge, ready to snap me forward at any moment.
Well, at this point, do any of you have any sort of knowledge skills that would apply to the local area?
I have Chicago area.
Yeah, I've got Chicago.
Well, do you think that would apply?
Any knowledge skills that would apply to the area of Chicago?
Right, Chicago area.
It's on my sheet. I didn't just.
So
make that
I think I've covered all the detail you would normally get from just Chicago area in general. Anything more specific? I'm fishing to see if you've got a certain keyword.
I've got Chicago gangs.
Chicago gangs. Okay, there we go. You are noticing some. There's lots of different old graffiti from different gang signs here and there, or just graffiti artists. But you do see what appears to be kind of a recurring theme amongst a lot of the different more recent ganger tags that you're seeing here, Skipper, and that is a lot of them that you're seeing seem to be human supremacist. The most recent of which is a gang sign you're seeing that might even be active in the area as far as you can tell, which is marked as the Superhumans. And they're a fairly small gang in the CZ, but they're known for being brutal and they're human supremacists. But they're also they're all about getting cybernetic modifications to make things better. They just want you to be human first. So they'll
Such
have
hypocrisy.
They'll have all these crazy over the top big augmentations, and they're violent human supremacists.
Yeah, transhumanists with the capital human.
Yep, and you think you might be on their turf. You don't see any direct sign of them, but you might want to keep an eye out.
All right, yeah, I'll shoot a quick mental text message to these guys and let them know. The heads up, this is what we're looking for. Do I know their gang colors or anything like that? Identifying stuff?
Yeah, you can point out their gang signs, which is like this circle thing with a curly Q, and there's some symbolism to it, but you don't really know.
Yeah.
The detail. It's mostly like kind of this orangish symbol. It's actually pretty close to the color orange of your vehicle, but not quite the same shade.
Uh-oh.
I don't get that message, right? Because I'm not in my meat.
Yeah, if you're projecting and taking a look around, yeah, I guess all I told you at this point was your initial vibe of the background count. As you project and take a look around, give me a perception test.
Okay.
It's a perception plus intuition.
Or do you want astral?
That would be more for sensing. This is first just to see if you notice stuff.
You got it.
Right.
10 dice.
Kill it.
Starting off real strong right
Nailed
there.
it with one hit.
All right. One hit.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
yeah. You're taking a look around, and it looks relatively clear here. There's no sign of spirits or bug things or mages watching you. You just detect the auras of your team and the blobs of technology that are the little drone moving apart from the truck.
I'm so good at this, guys.
I know you are.
So is anyone getting out of the truck, or are you going to be moving on with the truck?
After the message that we might have, there might be a slightly more imminent threat than we thought, just with gang presence, I think Rooster's going to get out and look for a vantage point that he can get to kind of overwatch the area, keep an eye out. And
Yeah, there's no shortage of decrepit old structures of buildings. I mean, they don't really qualify as buildings so much as like old rotted frames of them, but there's certainly plenty of spots where you could look up and go high as long as you think it's going to hold you.
yeah,
And it looks like it's mostly going to hold you.
yeah. Rooster knows much better than Bobby does, in his experience, what would be a good place to have a good view over everything. So,
All right, do you have climbing gear of some kind?
no, I don't have any climbing gear, so I'm not going to be going anywhere that would require that unless it's something that... He's a pretty athletic dude, but nothing that would require gear.
All right, go ahead and give me an athletics test, climbing base, so agility based.
Yeah, agility and athletics. It's 10 dice. Let's see what we got. 5 hits.
But yeah, look, you
Nice.
easily climb up to the second story of a nearby husk of a building. That should give you a decent vantage point. So you're moving on up that way. What are the rest of you doing as he's moving up to, I guess, get a good vantage point of things?
I'm gonna take my Hornet and zip it over to our target building.
Okay, which is
I think everything's.
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead. I think everything's great and clear from my perception check, so I'm going to keep exploring.
Right?
Okay, are you gonna head towards Garland Medical or keep watching over things here?
I'm going to head towards and make sure the coast's clear around the building.
Okay, so the drone and the astral form are heading on over to Garland Medical. We've got Rooster, the weapons specialist, climbing up in position. What is Jin, our Decker, doing?
He is very not happy that he's going to have to get out around this place. He had heard tales about what Chicago is like and thought, oh, it can't be that bad. And now that he's here kind of in the bad parts, he's really regretting coming to Chicago at all. And so he is stepping out of the van and he's kind of holding his deck close to his body as he looks around and tries not to step in anything gross and daintily makes his way over to the building where Rooster's headed.
Okay, so as you're heading over there and Rooster is climbing up, I would like you two to make a perception test. And then as Danen is moving on over astrally, give me another perception test as you're taking a look at the Garland Medical Clinic. And Skipper, you give me a perception test as well as you're looking through your drone's sensors.
All right.
Thank you, finally.
4 hits for me on my perception.
It's 3 for me.
It's a 3 for me. Yeah, it is a 3 for me.
All right.
Wow.
I've heard 3 of those.
Danen
Who am I missing?
Did you hear Danen's 7?
Oh, 7? Okay. No, I did not hear Danen's 7. So
That's my only
Danen.
good roll for the night, guys. I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's make it count.
All right, I'll start with Danen, who has the most hits. You're flying over to take a look at Garland Medical, and you see down there that you see a few things. First of all, there are some auras down there that are moving about. They appear to be kind of angry-looking auras that have been savaged by some sort of like essence loss. Probably lots of cyberware. You can't really tell without taking time to sense them, which you might do, but we'll see what happens here, because you can make out a total of 4 of them hanging around, kind of mostly outside the place, within view of each other. But then you also see in astral space, there is a spirit here as well that appears to be sort of creeping up on and observing the place. You're not sure if it's with them. It doesn't seem to have exactly the same aura, and it doesn't have like a creepy toxic bug aura or something, but you'll have to sense it to get more information. Other than that, you suddenly become aware of like lots of moving auras behind you, and you look back and see where Rooster's position is. He's just sort of climbed up into a position which might look like a good vantage point, but there's a whole bunch of small auras like right around where he is, and there's kind of a magic swirly glow about them. Like there's a bunch of nasty critters that are like, they look hungry, and then you can see like more of them on the ground, like kind of moving out, and you think the team is actually coming under attack back behind you.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and zip right back to my body.
One more thing, Skipper, with your 3 hits, you picked up on that there are indeed like 4 guys outside, kind of hanging out from your vantage point. There might be more on the other side of the building, but you can't tell. They're keeping an eye on the place, like, and they're kind of big, buff-looking human dudes with obvious cyber limbs, and they have like big weird weapons on them. Like one of them has like this big buzzsaw-looking, like round saw-looking thing. The other one has what looks like an arc welder type attachment in place of a hand. The other one has this oversized weapon mount that's got an assault rifle like attached into part of his arm. It's pretty, over the top, crude looking, macho stuff, I guess.
Okay.
They're hanging out, joking around a bit, and just kind of keeping an eye on their turf. Looks like this building that you're going to is a place that they may hang out at regularly. It might even be their regular hangout from what you can see here.
All right.
You're oblivious to the other stuff going on until someone tells you over comms. So at that point, I'd like everyone to roll initiative, though we'll say Skipper, at this point, you're kind of surprised. You're not aware of the combat at this point.
Yeah.
So can I go...
Actually, Rooster would be surprised as well because he didn't make the test to pierce through their concealment.
Arse. So I roll initiative, but I don't do anything.
You basically don't
right?
go the first round.
Okay.
That said, I didn't mention Jin. From your perspective, he goes climbing up there. You're looking around and kind of moving gingerly through this area, and it's just nasty and creepy. And then it's like the shadows are moving and skittering around you. It's got to be your imagination, right? Then you realize it's not your imagination. Is like lots and lots of pairs of little red glowing eyes. You're seeing them appear in the darkness around, and the forms of the devil rats step out and begin to approach. And when I say rats, like these aren't like little rats like people think of. Like these are rodents of unusual size. These are the size of like feral dogs, and they're quite feral and nasty looking critters, and they're about to feast on you and your friends right now. So
do I perceive any cyberware or matrix coming off of these rats?
No.
Okay.
Hey, you never know.
So
I rolled a 13. Looks like Austin got a 17.
I got a 10.
All right, so Austin, on 17, you're not really going this round.
Yeah.
You can be filled in on what's happening. You'll probably find out there's bound to be some screaming, right? But for now, you're happily reconnoitering the Garland Medical.
I'm sure dramatically right before whatever attack begins, Rooster is saying into comms, looks like everything's clear from here.
And Danen, you're currently astrally projecting. Did you roll initiative? When do you go?
I just did 10 because I don't have my fast spell on.
In the astral plane, do you have a different initiative than on the physical? Does it still work that way?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't remember anything, but let me check real quick.
Oh, yes, and I think what we didn't bother doing is you had 2 hours to rest up. You had taken some drain, so you'd had time to rest up on some of that drain.
Oh, good. That's good to know because I still had my 3.
We'll say between riding in the car time plus the time sitting while the vehicle was getting repaired, you have 3 hours of resting. So take your body plus willpower and roll that 3 times. Your number of hits is how many stun you recover. But yeah, I think on 15 then I've got these rats are going first. So a bunch of them just surge forward out of the darkness. There seems to be dozens of forms of them around all over. And a lot of them are trying to get a piece of, well, the only two who are sort of out and about outside of the truck. Though some of them are surging around the truck now as well. But yeah, basically, Rooster, you get up in your position. You're attacked by rats.
Ha!
What's your defense rating?
My defense rating is. Remind me and everybody listening how you calculate defense rating.
Body plus any bonus for armor.
All right. Well, as you would expect, Rooster has plenty of armor. For going into this situation, he would have donned his full body armor with his helmet because he's serious. So his body is 5 plus 5 for the armor and 2 for the helmet. So that gives him a defense rating of 12.
Okay.
Bring it, rats!
That's pretty strong. It's not strong enough to get a bonus over the other ones.
Holy
but
shite.
One thing I forgot to do, yeah, because they're attacking in groups here. There's lots of them surging out of the darkness.
So new group attack rules. So.
Yeah. However, there are some rats that are kind of like off to the side. They kind of have like a weird glow to them, and it's almost like this strange beam like comes out from them to wave over you. Go ahead and roll your edge attributes, both you and Jin.
All right.
Uh-oh.
What?
Just roll a number of dice equal to your edge
No,
attribute.
yeah, I understand. I'm just. I don't wanna.
I got 2 hits.
3. That's pretty solid.
Man, you and me got a boss
Yeah.
edge attributes, don't we?
Yeah, we're just like, hey, edge off, posers.
Get the edge out of here.
Okay. Yeah. There's like, it's some sort of mist that kind of like, you kind of wave it away, and it doesn't seem to attach or do anything weird to you. So you manage to avoid the effects of the glitch rats. But now you're like looking at the bites of the devil rats and the demon rats leading them. So as some really, really big rats amongst these big packs of rats are leading the charge, and they're all trying to chew on and bite you and tear you apart into pieces and drag you off and screaming into the darkness.
Did you say glitch rats?
Yeah.
What is that?
They're new in the book, actually. They have a special ability. They roll their magic plus reaction versus edge, and if they get net hits, the targets temporarily get the bad luck quality for 1 minute per net hit.
Oh my gosh!
Which means ones and twos counts for glitches.
That's awful.
So,
no.
but you guys avoided it, so
Right?
good job.
Edge off, glitch rats.
Yeah, get the edge
So-
out of here.
So yeah, instead of rolling a whole bunch of rat attacks, I'm using the grunt rules to make 1 attack against each of you. The attack rating is 12, so that's basically using the demon rat's base with bonuses for how many additional devil rats are helping it. And I'm making that 1 roll with a +4 attack rating and +2 to the dice pool. So with that, I want you to each make a melee defense test, which is reaction plus intuition. And if you have any minor actions that you might want to use, you have them available for the round to do like block or the dodge moves you can.
Am I back to my body yet or no?
No, you're still astrally projecting at this time.
Okay, so I can't really block it.
They don't appear to be active on the astral plane. They're just like lots of living things. There is a weird magical glow to them, though you have not taken time to sense anything of this yet.
Right.
All right, I'm rolling.
And I can just see them using glitch rats in like a casino or something to make people lose.
Oh,
Like a cooler.
I'm going to.
I got 3.
I'm gonna use some of these edge boosts to see what we can do.
Yeah, I guess. Opti. I guess. What's Jin's defense rating?
Defense rating. 9.
Okay, so no edge bonus there. So yeah, there's no edge being gained through the circumstances. So you're just rolling your defense test.
Well, what I'm gonna do is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bobby. I shouldn't have gotten your hopes up on this. Your character is actually like you're not aware of these things until they
so I
break
don't get to
concealment and
defend at
attack.
all, right?
Yeah, so all their hits are net hits on you.
That's right. So so to clarify for everybody, I didn't need to roll at all.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah, they got 5 net hits on you. So go ahead and roll to resist damage just using your body.
My body.
As rats are piling on you and chewing on you, and
I am going to.
this is kind of nasty.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do a fun thing. Because I don't really know that I want to. Never mind. Let's go with a regular old roll. Maybe I want to. I'm gonna do that thing where I use my. I'm gonna do the same thing I was gonna do before, which is I see that I've rolled a 2, a 2, a 2, a 4, and a 6. So I only have 1 hit. But that 4, if it were a 5, it would be a hit, wouldn't it? And I'd have 2. So.
Hey, Bobby, you could use an edge for that.
What? Can I really? Is there something I
It
can do?
actually
with
costs
my-
you 2.
Yeah, so there's a 2 edge boost that you can use. That is you add +1 to a single die on your roll. So I'm going to turn that 4 into a 5 by spending 2 edge. So I got 2 hits, is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. So you just climbed up in your position. You're about ready to get ready to get a good vantage point and maybe get ready to start shoot some gangers or something. And then, like, all of a sudden, claws and teeth are all upon you, biting at you, getting it in between bits of your armor. You take 5 total boxes of damage.
Oh my!
As the devil rat and demon rat swarm
Ugh.
surges over you and starts ripping you apart. Let's see. How did Jim do? You actually get a defense test because you see them coming.
I rolled 3, I think. Yes, 3 successes.
Oh, damn. 6 hits on 12 dice. This dice roller loves the rats.
Yeah.
So, the rats come piling on you. You go, like, running back, but they just surge forward so quickly, and there's so many of them. Like, you don't know how to get away from them, and suddenly they're upon you and chewing and biting. Go ahead and roll your body to resist damage.
Well, thankfully, I have titanium bone lacing, which gives me a pretty big body, which won't really matter, apparently. So, let me see what I can do. Can I reroll hits with edge stuff? You can only reroll 1 die like that.
If you spend 4 points of edge, you can reroll all your failed dice.
But I'm
you can only spend
saving
1
my
edge per round.
4 edge. You know what?
Spend-
I don't care. I'm gonna reroll. I'm gonna spend 4 edge and reroll because these things are disgusting, and I do not want them on me. So I'm rerolling my 4 dice that I missed.
Okay.
And I got another 2, so that's 3. That's still disgusting, but not as disgusting, I suppose.
It's good enough that, you kind of pull back and you kind of knock one of them off just as it's lunging near your throat. And, geez, that was close, but they're definitely biting you here and there, and it hurts in several different spots. You take 2 points of physical damage.
Who? Get them off me! Help! Help!
All right,
and then he'll get his wits about him and pull out his Shiawase Arms Monsoon and realize that he can just destroy them all.
there's a whole bunch of them.
Oh.
And I guess that was 15. Who's next?
Well, I was on 13, but I can't act, so.
I was on 10.
10.
I was on 17.
Oh, 17. Yeah, but you were sort of...
Yeah.
You're hearing the screaming now.
Yeah.
What? So, you're sort of realizing what's happening.
Next round.
You can act next round. But, keep the initiative. And, I guess got down to 10 then. We'll go with Denen in astral space. You can see the sparks from Aura as your friends are in pain.
All right. Yeah, that's bad. I don't like that they have that magical glow to them, because they shouldn't. So I want to go ahead and make it a sense or an astral roll. I do have +3 to astral signatures.
Let's see, I'm trying to figure out if that's a minor or a major action. I think observe and detail, basically.
Mhm.
So give me an astral plus intuition test.
Okay, so that's going to be
And I'm
So
gonna
that's
give them an
5?
edge. I'm gonna give them an edge against you in this case because of the background count.
Icky.
But they'll just bank that for now. So, how many hits?
5 hits?
All right, you can make out that there are indeed there's a bunch of these rat things. Some of them are different than others. Some of them are more powerful than others. Their magic seems to be a concealing effect that doesn't work on the astral plane. It does seem like there's for every 5 or 6 of the normal nasty rats, there's one bigger one that is there's connected to them in some way, like it's controlling them. And then there are a few other ones that are just they seem weird, like they're giving off some sort of weird, I don't know, chaos magic effect as far as you can tell.
Okay.
None of them are active on the astral plane. They don't seem to be affected by spirits or anybody's spells. There's just a bunch of them, and enough of them to tear a few people apart pretty quickly.
Okay.
We'll call that your major action.
Major
to
action?
more or
Okay.
less assense those.
I do want to get back to my body. Is that major or minor? I don't have it.
I believe it's a major action to get back in your body.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't attack them from the astral, and I could manifest, but that's probably a major action too.
It is, yes.
It is. So,
Are they denatured?
They're not.
Ah.
They don't
No.
have a particular presence in astral space besides their life form echo aura.
Is normal perception, is that a minor action?
To observe in detail is a major action.
All right, and I
Which
only
is essentially
have
what you did in an astral
2
form here,
minors,
so.
right? Okay, so I can't really do anything there. I will direct my spirit to
It is a minor action to command spirit.
yeah. So I want to do that and direct it to attack and kill the big rats.
Okay, had your spirit already materialized, or would that be what it's doing on this turn?
It would have to materialize. Although I let you make that call because I did instruct it to attack the ancients, but I assume it would have gone back into the astral.
It's been a couple hours since
Yeah.
then, so yeah, let's
Let it
assume that it's
manifest.
materializing this turn. It'll go on your turn next round.
Okay, cool beans. And then I'll just be back toward my body so that I can phase into it on the next turn.
All right, it materializes outside. Describe what your spirit looks like.
It looks like a man shark. You ever see that old 80s show, Street Sharks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of
Jossum!
Yeah, it's that.
Oh,
Street Sharks ride.
I really want it to cave through the concrete,
I say
All right.
now. I say Jossum more per year than anybody else I know.
All right, then I think we have Jin. It's your turn as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to do my burst fire, which means I'm going to shoot a narrow burst. It decreases my attack rating by 4, but increases my damage by 2. I'm going to shoot these rats, or whatever the biggest rat is.
Oh, there's one bigger one in particular, and it's got its mouth around your left thigh, dangerously close to.
Frag that guy up! Yeah, just point my big old Shiawase Armis Monsoon down at its mouth and just unload, burst fire, 4 shots. Ba 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 ba!
Whoa.
All right, what's your
3.
attack rating?
My
It's
attack
point
rating
blank
is
range.
now. This is close. So my attack rating is now 2.
Let's see
believe.
here. It does
No
not
problem.
have an advantage, so nothing back and forth. Just take your shot then.
3. And I'm gonna use 2 edge. No, wait. I don't think I have any more edge. Nope. Never mind. I don't have enough 2. I used 4 last time, didn't I? To reroll 4 dice. So no edge. Just 3.
Okay, you've got 2 net hits. So add that to your total damage for the burst and give me
So
my damage here.
2 plus my damage value of 4 is 6, plus the increase of damage from burst fire is 2, so that is 8. And hopefully I erupted its face.
It takes all 8 points of that damage. You blew just giant chunks out of it, and it's tossed backwards and flops to the ground. It's still alive, but it's like crawling and broken and crippled. But there's lots and lots of its friends nearby that leap forward to get a chance at a snack.
And then I kind of do that little thing, like in the movies where they blow on the, on the gun after they shoot it, and I just say, "Haha, because Shiawase products are the best. That's why."
All right. Next round, then we come around to, I guess, 17 first up. Skipper, you're aware that your team is under attack. I guess a quick glance over at your sensors, you get a general quick overview of what's happening.
Okay.
It looks like there's lots and lots of movement coming out. A lot more than you'd realized before.
All right. How are these gangers responding? Are they on edge? Is this just a casual thing?
Let's see. Now that someone started shooting, the gangers do seem like they're like standing up and taking a look at what's going on. They haven't immediately started to running off, but they haven't had much time to react yet either.
Okay. I'm going to park this drone on a wall someplace with little gecko tips, just somewhere out of reach, and I see it's a major action to jump into something else. So if I want to go directly from my Hornet to my As Technology crawler, I could do that as a major action.
Okay.
And then, and that still has the AK-97 stuck to the top of it, so I'm going to crawl out the back of the truck with that guy and start working my way up to Bobby's location, to Rooster's location.
Okay. You crawl on up top of the truck, and you can see there's swarms of these rat things all around the truck. Some of them are climbing up on it, maybe like getting ready to consider chewing on it some, but then taking a look at the motion from the nearby people, which are a lot more tasty looking.
All right, I'm gonna use my minor action to take aim at one of these guys, but I can't attack him this round because I jumped. So I think that's gonna be the end of my turn.
You take aim at, I'm assuming one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of big rats, but some of them are obviously bigger than the others.
Yeah. What are the biggest, scariest looking one?
Okay, then on 15, I think the rats go. They surge forward and attack. Let's see here. A bunch of them are going to attack a batch of them are going to attack the spirit. So make a defense test for your spirit. What's its defense rating? And then Rooster, you're aware of the attacks now, so you're getting attacked. Attack rating 12. And then Jin, you're getting attacked, but by attack rating 10, because you knocked away the big one.
Attack rating 10.
I think none of these is a difference of 4 from your defense.
No, I have 9, and that's only because of my titanium bone lacing and
All
armor
right,
jacket.
Good investment.
Yeah, so there's no edge advantage going on from attack rating on here. They're getting a big attack rating because I'm using the group rules, so there's a pretty big boost on their normal bonus there. So.
Do I get extra armor
got...
from bone lacing, or is it just the body that I put in?
You get a defense bonus and a body bonus. It is the thing to do, folks. Yeah. I'm telling you.
So I have aluminum. Do I get a defense bonus of, I don't know, 2?
It's not as good as titanium. It
adds to your defense rating and adds to your body, which also effectively adds your defense rating.
Yup.
All right. Double dipping.
Yup. That's honestly, bone lacing is the thing.
That's where it's at, guys. Bone lacing. Well, I do have
So
aluminum.
Spirit, Rooster, and Jin, each of you make a melee defense test as rats are trying to gnaw on you.
Okay.
Woo! Woo! I don't want none of those rats on me, so I rolled a 5.
With 5 hits, that's enough to completely avoid their attacks. Rats are leaping up at you. Some of them were climbing up on you before. You're sort of dodging and rolling around and knocking them off and away and stepping around. And yeah, they're all around you, but none of them managed to bite you this round.
Begone, filth!
I got 4 hits.
Yeah, you managed to avoid any of them actually getting a good bite in you this time as well. They're still kind of crawling up and around and over you, and you're trying to get your footing up here. But you managed to sort of scooch back and get a good front up.
Not this
One of them
time,
sort of
rats.
chewing on the butt of your gun.
Oh, not my Ares Desert Strike.
Let's see, then the spirit.
All right, I'm just.
I think you'd roll double its force unless it's got some other special bonuses, but it's intuition plus reaction. Which I guess different spirit types have different formulas for their attributes, so it might be off, but. All right. While you're looking that up, we'll move on to who's on 13.
Please do.
I'm
Sorry
on
about
13.
All right.
Technical
So
difficulties here.
yeah, Rooster, you're up there with a good half dozen at least of these big old rats.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to. How many rats are there, and are they all clumped together like a bunch of rats like to do?
Yeah, they're pretty clumped together, fairly close to you. There's a bunch of them, like at least 5 or 6. Are you going to take a major action to observe in detail, or just
No, I just wanted to
at a
know that there
glance?
was at a glance a decent number of stuffs.
Yeah, there's more down below as well, but looks like a 5 or 6 up here with you now.
All right. I think a full. What does full auto do now? It doesn't.
Full
you split your
auto
dice pool.
allows you to make multiple attacks without using the multiple attack minor action. You choose to split your dice among any valid targets in range. So you can attack a lot of targets or just one single target with a series of small dice pools. Each
There is an
doing...
edge.
That's exactly what I'm using, Mr. Johnson. That's why I was asking. Because
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
want to use burst fire just to attack 2. I'd like to attack all of them with a full auto. I'm going to switch my Desert Strike to full auto and open up on them. Now the edge boost that Mr. Johnson's talking about, there's an edge boost for 4 edge, I think it is. Yeah, anticipation. And what anticipation does is it's a special edge action that you can use when you're making a multiple attacks or a ranged attack action that allows you to roll the full dice pool for each targeted in a multiple attacks action.
That's awesome.
So the idea behind this is that you've been anticipated their movement in such a way that you can very smartly target your multiple attacks.
I want to do that. I wish I hadn't wasted my 4 edge.
One thing that I forgot to mention, the reason I have 4 edge is because I started with 5, but I used 2 last time on my last thing, but it was a defense or a damage resist that I was using the edge on, and I have Rooster has the toughness positive quality. Toughness in 6th edition, that quality gives you a bonus edge that you can use on damage resist tests. So it effectively, for just that test, gave me 6 edge, and I could use that, and it left me with 4. The trick is that you have to use that bonus edge. You don't accumulate that bonus edge. It's just like there for the damage resist.
It basically makes that particular thing cost 1 less.
Yeah, you can kind of think of it that way. For edge uses for damage resist cost 1 less. Exactly. All right, so I'm going to make my attack then. My firearms test is 13, and because of my specialization in rifles, I get a +2. That's 15 dice. You just want me to make the 1 roll?
Yeah, just the 1 roll.
Okay. 15, and because I'm using the smart gun, I get an extra die.
It just raises your attack value, I thought.
If you're using it wireless, you get an extra
What
dice.
is your attack value at this range?
Okay, so yeah, we need attack. Yeah, attack rating. So Ares Desert Strike. What is the range?
It's the first one.
The first one. Oh, that's gonna
Closer
be.
near, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's like close. So it'd normally be 3, but I have Smart Gun, which makes that 5, and there's something else I think that gives me an extra, but I can't think of
Okay,
it.
so
Oh,
it's
vision,
about even up
vision
with defense
enhancement
rating.
and stuff like that would bump it up to 6. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no edge from that.
Okay, so I'm rolling 16 dice to kill all the rats, all of them. I got 4 hits. It's
All right, that is 3 net hits.
could have been better. 3 net hits. Okay, that feels good.
I could be confident of that because you already used edge to be able to do all your dice on that attack.
Yes.
And you can only have 1 edge expenditure per round.
Yeah, and I just used 4. I used a big old 4 for that special edge action of.
But that lets you like split your dice pool without having to split your dice pool. So that
Yeah.
was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that I
so-
I like that one a lot. That felt real good with full auto and the way full auto works now.
So with the burst damage factored in, I think that adds 2 already. And 3 net hits. What is your total damage?
So 3 net hits. Base damage for the Ares Desert Strike is 5p plus 3 is 8p. Because I'm just using regular old ammunition.
Okay, so you like blow a bunch of holes and like you're punching holes from one rat into another.
Some of the
like,
holes are
using your
punching
bullets.
through one and going 2 into the other.
Right, and just you shoot a whole bunch of rats. You're not sure if you actually killed any of them outright. They're all like horribly mangled, but they're like sort of knocked back, and you're pretty sure like these ones like they're not into this combat anymore. They're done. So you didn't quite kill them all with that blast, but enough to where they're out of the fight. All right, and that was 13. How did your spirit do on the defense test?
Spirit got 4 hits.
Okay, it also evaded getting chewed up by rats.
Badass.
And then I guess we come around to 10, so Dinan, it's your turn. You can get back in your body if you want. That's a major action.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that and immediately say into comms, get the big ones.
Speaking of which, I think your spirit is about to do just that. What is your spirit doing to take out one of the big ones?
Let's do. We're gonna do our elemental attack. That'll be fun. So I've got attack rating. Oh my, that's long. Force times 2. Okay, so I think I'm rolling. Mr. Johnson, can you double check me on this?
It should be the spirit's agility plus its skill, which its skill would be equal to its force.
So
And then it's got
7 dice.
And then its attack rating should be based on its force and some other calculation. I'm not sure offhand. Pardon me, I've got to step away for just a moment.
I find this
Got
disgusting.
that.
I hate everything about this.
You just got sprayed with rat juice. That's right.
Oh yeah.
I sprayed the rat juice away from me. I can't imagine that any of it would get on me.
You dodged it with Jin's expert grossness dodging.
You best believe that all that hand sanitizer's coming out here in a minute,
Oh man, hand sanitizer bath.
right?
We need to get you a poncho.
Did you see earlier in the chat room somebody said that their headcanon was that that Rooster carries extra hand sanitizer specifically for Jin.
This is gonna come up every episode now. Believe it.
I like
Right.
it. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Also, I love the visual images that come up when you stop and think back about, like, okay, so we got a street shark that's just drowning all of these devil rats and glitch rats. And in the middle of this just decrepit Chicago building.
Jossa.
I like that. Yeah. I know they're dangerous rats because I know because they just slashed into me. But I like that I just opened up full auto on just a bunch of rats.
Yeah, I wonder if Jin should do a Scotch guard on all of his clothes.
All right, so I think that was 1 hit for your spirit against 2 for the rat. So
Yeah.
I think the rat avoided the damage there and ducked out of the way as the blast just misses it.
My spirit's grossed out too.
And then next would be Jin, I believe.
All right, my attack rating against one of these little buggers is. Am I still close or near?
Close.
To the nearest one. Okay, so 6 attack rating.
Okay, no bonus there.
Bobby did remind me that my smart gun system gives me a +1 dice pool bonus, so I'm rolling an extra die today.
No, wait, your demon rat is toast. You're going against a devil rat here, so you do have a bonus. You do get an edge. You have just enough.
All right, then. Well, it doesn't make any difference to my roll, but I got 3. I'm doing normal shot now that it's not on me.
All right, that is 2 net hits.
All right, so that's going to be 6 physical damage.
All right, you savagely injure one of the devil rats. It perhaps begins to think twice about its career path or current occupation, but not too deeply because it's a devil rat.
Don't touch me, filth!
All right, end of the round. See, there are 2 people who were bitten by devil rats. So both of you go ahead and roll your body as the venom takes hold and deals damage to you.
What?
Oh boy.
1.
2.
3 damage.
I was waiting for it.
Wow, this is pretty nasty. Okay.
I'm trying to check and see if I have any toxin things. Like, nah, when's that going to come up?
Oh,
Jin and Rooster are both racked with horrible pain as they each take 5 boxes of physical damage from the venom.
What?
Are you kidding me?
Demon rats are really nasty. Don't let them bite you, I guess.
My gosh. Guys, this needs to end now. I cannot handle that again.
I have.
Man.
Rooster has 10 boxes of physical damage now.
Yeah, I have 7.
From a
and
rat!
Devil rats.
That would put me into overflow.
I'm not nearly as awesome as the big orc. I'm sweating now, probably because of the rat poison, but still.
I'm super glad I'm still in the car.
Oh yeah, me too.
Jin
Everybody's
is regretting
asking-
his decisions.
Everybody's asking, no, Rooster is not down just yet. He has 11 boxes of physical.
Gross.
Well, I guess we'll come back around to top of the order then. Next turn. That is Austin Skipper.
So I lose 2 on my initiative because of my damage. No, 3, right? Don't I move down the track now?
Yeah, I don't. I go down 2 as well, so I'm at 8.
So I'm now at 10.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's
All
gross.
right.
Down with the 10s. Sorry, Dinesh.
So-
Oh, there's some edge stuff for regaining health, isn't there?
Yeah,
You
if
can
you've
spend-
if you've got 5 edge, you can spend all 5 of it
Ugh.
to get 1 box of physical.
No, it's
4.
3 for a stun, 4 for a physical.
Oh,
Yep.
it's 4 for physical? Okay.
1 box. All right. Well, I guess that's not worth it right now.
It's a step. All right, so I'm jumped into my As Technology crawler right now. Want to see if there's a way I can get it up to where these guys are at. Maybe help them finish off the last of these devil rats.
It looks like Jin is like standing pretty close to the truck, just a few meters away. And he's got a bunch of devil rats that are jumping at him. And then like just to your right, a little ways away, toward the rear of the truck, is this manifested weird shark thing that's fighting some devil rats. And then up ahead on that building, there were a bunch of devil rats, but you're seeing a bunch of them getting like knocked back or knocked away, and some of them are actually starting to like run away from that position. So it looks like Jin might be in the worst trouble.
All right, yeah, the spirit will be fine if it goes down. Worried
I'm
about Jin.
dying.
All right, I'm gonna use burst fire on this AK-97. Help out Jin and take out some of the guys near him. So let's see, that gives me a base damage of +7. What's the range increment on this? Is this the near?
This would be the second one out from your position where you are. You're at least a few meters back. So
Okay, so that's base of 11 -2, so a 9 attack rating.
that's enough for an edge.
Awesome.
You also get one for being jumped in, don't you? Or is that for vehicle stunts?
That's for vehicle stunts. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything I want to do with that? Not yet. Anything's gonna be afterwards.
I'm gonna say that you do have like kind of a nice elevated vantage point, like climbing out on top of this truck, and there's like all the combat around you. You've got a pretty good position, so I'm gonna give you a situational edge as well, provided you haven't
All right.
to return yet.
Yeah, that's the 2-edge bonus right there. So, let's see. I'm gonna roll 7 dice as part of this burst fire attack. 5 hits. Yeah.
Nice. Save us all, Skipper.
Alright, so like I said, that's a base of 7 damage, too.
All right, you've got 2 net hits. That's enough to, we'll say, take out one of the devil rats.
Awesome.
Riddle it with bullets, and it goes writhing and tumbling away from the group of them.
Alright, we still got a bunch from left back there?
I'd say most of them are still kind of around that like weird like shark thing. There's now looks like 3 or 4 just around Jin at the moment, and they're not the big ones.
And I just have the 1 bonus edge this round from my advantage of height, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to use that and one of my own personal edge to give Jin an extra edge.
Sounds good. Looks like he could use it.
That's nice.
So yeah, because you seem to be in dire straits.
That was kind.
All right, then it goes to the rats' turns. There's some of them attacking the spirit, so go ahead and make a defense test for that one. And then there's, see, the one that was injured before runs away. There's currently just 3 rats that are still attacking Jin. So Jin, make a melee defense test against them. What's your defense rating?
Don't want to. It's 9.
Okay, even up there, or close enough.
3 + 8. Okay. Please. 3.
All right, roll for the spirit. Got a 1.
He sure did.
Chad got 3. So, yeah, I got a freakishly high roll against the spirit. So we're gonna see if that might damage it. Damage rating is 2 plus 6 net hits, so that's 8. What force is the spirit?
3.
Okay, so that takes 3 away. So it rolls its body to soak 5 damage. And
I need to
let's
re-roll
see.
mine actually because I'm at -2. I forgot because of my condition monitor.
Okay, go ahead and re-roll yours.
3,
and there's 3 hits
which
against
is exactly
you,
the same.
which will just hit. So unless you got some edge or something to somehow get an extra hit, go ahead and roll to soak damage.
Ow! No hits.
Oh,
you
no.
dead, boy.
Hold on, let me see. What can I do with? I have 3 edge now.
Buy an automatic kit.
2 edge will get you a +1 to one of the dice, so you can bring one of those 4s up to a 5.
Yeah.
You could spend 3 edge to re-roll 3 dice. That'd be using the one edge thing.
That's
3 times.
probably
Yep.
the best chance, or the best chances to do something. So we'll spend 3 edge to roll 3 dice.
Now
And-
to clarify, to make this clear for those watching, there's not a 3 edge boost to reroll 3 dice. What he's doing
Right.
is he's using the 1 edge boost to reroll 1 die,
3
but
times.
he's using it 3 times. In
Well,
one action.
I rolled a 1. What's the damage?
1.
Really? That's it?
Yep, it was base damage of 2, then -1 for your soak roll.
I could have absorbed that. That's it. Okay, I'm okay
should
with it.
have.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
The spirit got 1 on that body roll.
Okay, it takes 4 damage as the rats are starting to rip chunks off of it.
Ew!
Ugh.
And then, who is next on 13?
Let me ask you.
Rooster, you find yourself facing a number of horribly wounded rats who don't seem to be want to be near you anymore, and they skitter off away.
Good.
You are not further attacked this round.
All right. Thank goodness. How close are we to? I'm thinking about our break for the evening. How close are we to the end of this? Should we wait, or do we want
I
to take
think
it?
we're pretty close to resolving the encounter.
Let's wait until the end of it then.
I have to say, I was not expecting the rats to be this dangerous.
Hello,
You know,
6E.
every time I've ever run rats, that's what people said. Every single time I've ever run rats, it always is more. It's more intense than the final battle.
Especially with that venom.
Yeah. Especially with with swarm rules and all that kind of stuff, and they just overwhelm you.
So
13, I think we're on to Rooster, right?
I got knocked down to 10 because of my damage.
Okay, 10, I guess the rest of your team goes, so you, Danen, and Jin, Jin goes a little later, I guess.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
We'll stick with Rooster since you started with the higher initiative.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to taking cover as best I can where I am. Not that it's gonna matter with rats, but and then I'm gonna switch to a single shot mode and take aim at a rat and fire.
Okay, one of the ones on Jin.
Yes. Does aiming do anything? Take aim. What does a take aim action do?
Gives you +1 to your dice pool per aim, or if you have a range category, you can account for that
Yeah, so
using your scope or whatever.
How far away is this thing?
This is still going to be within the second range category, so
Okay.
not outside of 50 meters.
All right, so take aim doesn't give me any extra dice. It just affects range categories.
It gives
right?
you an extra die, yeah. You
Oh, it
can
gives me
either
an
do
extra
extra
die, okay.
dice, or you can also use your scope. So pretty much the same as it did before.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm taking aim. So a minor action to take aim. I've got 4 minor actions. I'm taking aim, taking cover just for the heck of it. I'm also switching modes on my gun to single shot. And
If you have extra minor actions but not enough for another shot, you can also take aim multiple times. It just caps out equal to your willpower.
then I'm gonna take aim again, and I'm gonna fire on that rat next to Jin. Sorry if you get dirty from this. All right.
What's your attack rating?
Attack rating would be 10 plus. It would be 13 with my vision enhancements and
Okay,
smart gun.
you're getting an edge for a higher attack rating than their defense rating, and you're also going to get an edge from your higher position and your vision mags and all that stuff. You're obviously in an advantageous shot for taking a shot.
Yeah, got my
Nice.
2 edge this round, boys and girl. Cool Tick, thanks for the subscription, and I'm gonna roll with it. And I'm gonna roll 16 dice and destroy this thing.
I have
Man,
to say, looking back at what you did earlier, Bobby, if I wanted to make a gunslinger character, I would put everything I could into increasing my attack rating and then just do anticipation and edge. I would put edge and attack rating, and then I would just do anticipation like 2 or 3 times a combat.
Yeah, man, full auto.
Anticipation's pretty awesome.
Full auto and
That is an
anticipation.
insanely powerful edge action.
6
Yeah.
hits. 6 hits on that rat next to you, Jin.
Okay, shooting
I hope
the rat
you're
next to
wearing
Jin.
your poncho.
That is 2 net hits.
All right, base damage is 5, so +2 is 7 physical.
All right, you deal it a savage injury. Probably not enough to kill it, but enough to make it not want to stay and fight, especially since it's not under control of the demon rat that was controlling it before. As Jin filled it full of lead.
Alrighty.
I think, let's see, that was... Oh, Danen, your turn. You and your spirit go.
Okay, so I get back into my body, and first thing I'm gonna do is turn on my chameleon suit. Because, you know, timing. I'm gonna step out of this car just in time for you guys to finish them off and be like, oh, okay. My spirit in the meantime, so that was a major and a minor action. So I only have 1 minor action left, really. So I could move out of the car, correct?
Yes, if you'd like.
All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that cautiously. And then my spirit, let's go ahead and make another attack.
All right, make its roll for that. And then last person to go would be Jin.
All right. There should be one of those rats that has a bunch of wounds, right? Or is that one dead yet?
There's a number of them that are looking like they're wanting to slink away with big injuries. But before we move on, Danan, you got, what, 3 hits for your spirit to attack?
Yes, sir.
And that rolled 4 for the defense test. So your spirit's blasting away at them, but not hitting.
These are some powerful rats. They're facing this shark like a boss.
They have the power of friendship and teamwork.
I haven't read this rule yet. Do they still take penalties, like if for being attacked previously? Like does
I
it?
don't think so.
That's not a thing in SR 6.
Oh crap! And I forgot last round the venom again. It's reduced by 1, but
Oh
you guys
my
have
God.
to resist
We're all
damage
dead.
for the venom.
But I haven't
Oh,
taken
no.
I haven't taken my attack yet.
Yeah, this would be the end of last round. No, we're not to the end of the round yet. Yep. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm getting
All right.
ahead of myself.
So shooting another rat, the same one that I attacked before, the one that bit me. That's what I'll do. I'm at a -2 because of my physical damage, but I'm hoping this will
Yeah.
do the trick anyway. 4. Suck it, rat. Vermin.
The vermin indeed does suck it as you get 2 net hits.
I stroke my Shiawase arms monsoon gently as if it were my child as I do 6 damage to the disgusting rat that touched me.
Did not soak any of that damage. You blew a big hole in it.
Nice.
All right, and now we get to the end of the round. Generally speaking, what rats are left? You've killed off maybe about half of this group of them, or savagely injured most. They're running off, and numbers of them are pouncing on some of the other injured ones and dragging them away. And either way, like the rats that haven't been shot at least are going to eat well tonight, as they drag them away. And it seems like you've driven off their attack, and they're not going to continue to press the attack. As your spirit probably blasts away at some of them as they're retreating. However, you maybe don't get time to breathe a sigh of relief, as those of you who still have the venom coursing through your body are taking more damage from it. So make another body roll, Jin and Rooster.
There we go. I'm working on looking up the overflow.
It's not gonna be fun.
Now be a time to use some of that edge.
2. I don't have any more edge.
How could I even?
I will give Opti 2 of mine.
That would cost you 4.
It would cost. I'm sorry. I will use 2 edge to give him an edge.
Okay, however, you can only expend edge once per round, so if any of you had spent edge before this round, you could not at this time on this roll, so.
Yeah. I got 2 also.
Okay, that's not too bad. Considering all the soak built in here, I'm going to... so you each end up taking 1 more box of damage as the poison finishes and fades.
Yeah, so the last shot that Rooster fired, he was like, lying on the ground and leaned up from cover, shot the thing, and it ran away from Jin, and he said, "I got your back." And he falls unconscious because he's got 11 boxes of physical now, and that's his.
No.
And I hear that, and I say, "I have also got my back." And I fall. And I'm knocked out as well.
Oh, no.
At that point, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Dinan.
I would like to make my way over to them and cast my very nice stabilize spell.
You move me over to stabilize them, and we cut over to Skipper, who's been looking through drones and whatever, and just like quick checks the feed from the surveillance drone, and you can see that, yeah, indeed, it does seem like with all of this noise, the local superhumans, as they style themselves, have been alerted, and they're in the process of gathering up a group of people to come over here and find out what's going on. It looks like it may take them about a minute or so to do it, but it won't be long before you'll have some people checking on things to see what's happening. And yeah, half of your team is down from the rats.
Oh, man. I was just about to ask about that, too.
Milk run.
Wow.
All right, I think now's a great time while we're unconscious to take a quick break and look up the. I didn't overflow. Did you, Jin?
No, I'm exactly down.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. So out of character, we don't need a stabilize spell because we're not in overflow. But I think what would be good is on our break we look up the quick overflow rules so that we're familiar with them, because I think they're slightly different now. But we'll be right back. Let's take a quick 5-minute break. Does that sound good for everybody? And then
Fantastic.
And then we'll come back and continue things on. We're going to, so that people are watching, we're going to be running for another hour for the session, and then we'll be doing our like debriefing wrap. And I've been taking notes on things that I wanted to talk about after we're done. So we will definitely do that. But we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Stick around. Let anybody know who's not here, who you think would enjoy getting to see 6th edition, to come and join us. Is that your Devil Rat impression? Oh, missed. Okay. We'll be right back.
All right. Nope.
Hey everybody, we're back. I almost didn't notice that you couldn't hear me, but I did notice. So we're back from break. Jin and Rooster are unconscious from literal rat
Rats.
infestation.
From rats. Yeah.
And
This is the best Shadowrun team ever. We're the elites.
yeah, I know. We posted up for Overwatch. We're watching the area, trying to make sure that we can scope it out and infiltrate nicely and professionally. And as we're doing that, we don't notice the swarm of rats that are poisoned and killed us.
And now we're going to get murdered by racists.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jin has made runs on the Dubai headquarters of Solder Group, and here he is getting his hoop handed to him by a bunch of creepy luck rats.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
That's what life. That's what Shadowrun is like, folks. That's
To be fair, I mean these are some nasty critters. I mean, like these were multiple packs of smaller numbers of devil rats, each one led by a demon rat using its animal control power on the other devil rats. There was multiple glitch rats as well, which their power didn't work on you. But yeah, essentially I attacked in groups, having the demon rat being assisted by the other devil rats. That just added to its attack rating and dice. Since Jin wiped out a demon rat early on, he was facing less nasty follow-up attacks from the devil rat, but both Jin and Rooster took damage from the devil rat, or from the demon rat, which has a magic rating of 6, and the venom power.
Yeah.
And with the venom power, the follow-up venom damage is based on the magic rating, then reduced by hits. So I kind of actually, I think, house ruled a little bit so that the further poison power was reduced by the number of hits that were previously gotten on the soak rolls. Otherwise, I think it would have just killed them off.
Yeah.
So that was I think unexpectedly powerful.
So GMs out there, when 6th edition comes around, if you want to trick your players into a false sense of security, send them after some devil rats.
Noted.
It'll be like level 1 adventuring in an MMO. So go fight some rats.
Yeah.
They're like, got it.
I will say that as a GM, I am surprised by the lethality of the demon devil rat glitch rat swarm that I inflicted. I was expecting it to be kind of a somewhat dangerous diversion, but not like drop half the team and be somewhat danger of a TPK.
Yeah.
But it is kind of refreshing though to see critters being a scarier threat now
Yeah,
than
for
they
sure.
were before.
That's
Because
true.
like in 5th edition, this would have been like no sweat, a few extra rounds of blowing up some rats, and you'd have been walking out of the next thing.
Right.
But yeah, this is a very potentially lethal encounter.
Right. Well, we'll spend some more time debriefing on that when we're done. We've still got a little under an hour left of this run, so let's get back to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Just in time for these gangers to show up.
Rooster continues to drool.
At this point, you are near your target location. You've actually scouted it astrally and physically with a drone, and found that there is indeed a gang there that you've been able to identify as they're superhumans is their gang name, and they are human-centric, violently human-centric gangers who cyber the dreck out of themselves.
I'm still unaware of this, right? Because I was in the Astro when they shared this info.
You're back to your body. You and Skipper are the only two that are currently conscious. The other two have just fallen over from their demon rat poisoning.
Yeah, I think you've got an unread text message in your AR right now about the gang members.
Yeah, we'll cut to you, sort of like you've stepped out of the car, you're looking around, your
Gets back
spirit's sort
in
of
the
chasing off the last of the rats. And yeah, you see the other ones are down, and you're just getting a message in from like in your ear from Skipper. So Skipper, what are you telling the mage who's just walked back in on this situation?
So devil rats and others are clear. However, we have some super transhumanist racists coming down the block.
Just a simple
So
old status.
best to keep out of sight.
Oh,
They're several hundred meters away currently on the other side of this building. They haven't moved towards vehicles yet. They're still sort of like talking to each other like, hey, what's up? I don't know. I heard a sound. What should we do? I suppose some of us should get together and go over there. Okay,
So-
who should go over there? Blah, blah, blah. They're sort of in that process state.
Mhm.
So-
Thankfully, Jin is an elf. He'll be fine.
Okay, so we've got one human among our group? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be selfish because I'm squishy and 2 of us are dropped already. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast improved invisibility on myself.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to jump out of my drone and then jump out of my truck and physically walk over. I'm going to start dragging these guys and see if I can throw them into the bed of throw them into the cab real quick before these guys come around.
Okay, you look up and see Rooster kind of hanging, like one arm hanging over the side and like on the second story of that husk of a building just up there. But then like a couple of meters away from your truck on the ground, there's Jin.
All right. I'm going to take Jin first just because he's the closest. Stuff him into the back seat again before I go up to go pick up Rooster, and I'm telling my S technology to crawler it's in defensive mode, standing on top of the truck.
All right, yeah, there are a few like of the devil rats that were more savagely injured that are having trouble getting up and moving away, and they're sort of like still kind of moving and creeping, and there's like a shot here and there as your drone sort of mops up whatever ones don't get away in the shadows fast enough. There's sort of that going on as the backdrop as you're going out and doing what you can for Jin.
Austin, I thought I'd tell you, since you can't read the Twitch chat, that Insane Fox has a good suggestion for you. It says the human should kill the rest of the group and join Humanus. Only chance of survival.
Not the only chance, but definitely the best.
No, that does potentially stand as one of the possibilities, but what kind of life would that be?
It would be a life. That's... All right.
So,
so
am I good to cast?
yeah, there's no stabilize needed. They're both down but stable. So are you doing what, healing spells?
So I'm starting with
Oh, you're doing
invisibility.
invisibility on yourself. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead and roll for that then.
Cool. So 6 hits on that.
Wow, that's however many hits people need to be able to see you. That's going to be pretty much impossible. You're very invisible. Now resist your drain.
Okay, which is drain value of 4. So I'm rolling my
Willpower plus
logic. So that's 9.
Okay, there's no edge gaining in this process, but you can spend it if you have it. Otherwise, you're taking 2 stun from that. And do you have a way to sustain the spell without penalties, or are you going to be suffering some penalties while being super invisible?
You're
I
muted.
can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Sorry about that.
There we go.
I have focus concentration, level 3 on that. So for each level, I can sustain an additional spell without suffering.
Wow.
Yeah, the associated penalty. So,
Yeah, so
That's
for our audience who's
huge.
familiar with 5th edition, that's a lot different than how 5th edition works. In focus concentration, level 3 in 5th edition would allow you to sustain a single spell up to force 3, but with no forces, focus concentration is a lot more powerful now.
yes.
Yeah, that's a hugely powerful quality.
the catch with that is that the spell can't have a modified drain value of 7 or higher. So you can't do it with like a super crazy powerful spell.
Also, I think it's a lot more karma expensive in character gen than it was before. So.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's
But
really expensive. I
really
think it's
powerful.
like 32 karma or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, for all 3 levels. It's a lot.
Well, considering you have that, then wouldn't you also still have an improved reflexes spell that you cast on yourself before?
I do, and that works a little differently now. Basically, I can make myself super fast, but since we don't re-roll initiative anymore, I'm kind of wondering if I really want to use that, because basically I could go first,
Yeah.
or I could not.
I'm gonna have
The nice thing about it is it gives you extra minor actions per extra initiative die.
It does.
So.
It does. So, but first thing I wanted to do was go invisible.
Yep,
And then,
invisible.
depending on how much time I have, I would like to also do increased reflexes and then move toward my friends.
Okay, go ahead and cast that spell and roll your drain for that.
Okay, so increased reflexes is a little different. So I'm going to roll my spell casting again, so that's 11 dice.
Now this one, it's like every level or every hit you get counts as like the level of wired reflexes,
One,
right? Plus
really?
one.
Yeah, so how this works is basically you just, since there's no force, I can, it's versus essence if I'm casting on someone else, but basically it's 1 point of increase and 1 initiative dice per hit. And then the drain value, it increases by how many I want to keep. So if I rolled 6 hits, I could take all 6, but I'm adding 6 more drain to my current drain of 5. So in this case, I only rolled 1 hit, so I am rolling against 6 stun.
Oof. Okay, so while you're rolling to resist drain on that, we'll go back to Skipper. So you've moved out.
Mhm.
Your drone's taking some shots here and there. You've moved up to where Jen is laying there, unconscious and, bleeding from lots of probably infected, dangerous, venomous rat wounds.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna take care not to get any of that venom on my hands as I drag him back to the truck.
All right, you get him back to the truck. By the time Danen finishes casting her next set of spells.
Mr. Johnson, how does drain or edge work on drain?
Same as any other test. So you could spend 4 edge to reroll all your failures, or just 1 edge per to reroll, each die. 2 edge per to up 1 pip by 1, so turns a 4 into a 5.
Right.
3 edge per, extra just bonus hit, stuff like that.
Okay. So I got 2 hits, which is poopy. So I'm fighting 4 drain in that case, which would put me at 6.
Ouch.
Yeah.
If you had 4 edge to spend, you could reroll,
I have
7
3.
dice? So that's not good enough for that. You could buy 1 more hit, but you might as well just spend 2 edge to bump that 4 up to a 5. They'd be the same result. Or you could just reroll
Right.
3 dice and hope you get lucky. Or maybe it's time to dig out a stim patch.
Yeah.
Hope you bought one.
If needed. So for right now, I think I'm going to re-roll. Let's re-roll 2. All right. Don't roll like Sarah. All right. Well, I got 1 more out of it. So that takes me down to 3 stun. So I don't get the -2, which.
All right. Yep, you're feeling pretty woozy, but you got the 2 spells up. At least you can focus on maintaining them without any other distraction. Looks like Skipper's gotten Jin back into the truck by this point.
All right.
Rooster's still hanging out up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up and go grab Rooster and see if I can drag him back down to the truck.
I'm heavier.
Yeah.
You're my brother.
I have a beefy bod.
You aren't heavy.
All right, so I guess give me an athletics plus agility test to do the climbing.
Oh no! Oh, I have to climb.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah.
I had to climb up there with an athletics test.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to make that. I'd be defaulting on my 3 agility.
Yeah, you
So
don't
I'm just
see-
gonna say,
You don't see ladders or stairs anywhere. You could probably pull your truck up nearby and then like kind of stand up on that and pull them down.
You can spend 1 edge for a sudden insight. There's a 1 edge action called Sudden Insight, which allows you to make a test of any type without having the skill.
Really?
hmm.
I wonder.
Can
how
I make
that
a recovery test?
I wonder how that works.
Nah, because even then, I'd still be rolling 3 agility on that, and that's on average 1 hit, which I doubt is going to be enough to climb up this building. Yeah, it might be best just to pull the truck up and kind of use that as a step ladder or something.
All it does really though is allow you to do it without the penalty of defaulting. So,
If you just give me a minute, I could magically lift him.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's
man.
No,
Magic.
you don't want to do that. Not that Jin can talk, but you're already taking a lot of drain, and you're gonna be needing to do
Oh,
more stuff.
I know.
mean, if-
Well, you've got the truck pulled up next to it. Jin is still unconscious. What are you doing while the rigger's getting the truck nearby? I guess. Dinan. You've got your reflexes and invisibility spells up in yourself.
I would like to go ahead and start healing my team.
All right. Well, only Jin's in range so far.
Okay.
That spirit of
Ready for
yours.
this?
Do you have any more services left?
I have 1 left.
You could tell your spirit to heal. I don't know if it works like that anymore.
I don't think they have that ability.
Can't they cast whatever spells you have? I forget.
I think some
But that was
spirits
maybe
can.
fifth
I
edition.
think a kin spirit could have a spell that you know as well, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything in here.
All
So
right,
yeah,
do you
we're gonna
have
go
a
with me.
first aid or healing magic, or
I have healing magic. We're gonna do that.
what's your essence, Jin?
2.
Oh shit.
I know.
mine's worse.
Okay. So it's 5 minus essence. You need 3 hits to do like nothing. Each hit above 3 will be a point of damage healed.
1 will suffice.
You need 4 hits to bring him down to 1.
Oh, thank God.
Wow, 6 hits.
Look at that.
Nice.
That's 3 boxes healed,
Okay.
Jin.
Get up, Ginny.
All right. Yep. 3 net hits. So assuming, yep, that's I think a single complex action to do that. It doesn't have a number of turns anymore, unless I'm mistaken. But
Also,
you
just so
cast
you
a
know,
healing spell, and sorry, go on.
I do have cooling heals, so you feel slightly chilled as you.
Cooling heal.
Yeah, if you were on
What is that, like
fire,
Vicks
that would be
Vapor Rub?
really helpful to cast this as well right now. But yep, he's you feel a bit chilly then as you awaken, just kind of chilled to the bone, but with that sort of a refreshing, chilling air, not a freezing to death, cold grip of death chill. So, but yeah, Jen, you're still you still feel a whole bunch of savage burning pain from the many infected bite injuries you have all over your body.
I am going to take out the hand sanitizer and start rubbing it liberally all over my wounds
Oh man.
and
If
on my clothes.
that's mostly alcohol. It probably
Give me a
burns.
composure test.
Mr. Johnson, I did avoid my drain too.
Okay. Excellent.
That composure test, I think, still is taking the penalties from my physical damage track. So I only rolled a 1.
All right, yeah, it hurts a lot, and you're still going like oof and ouch or whatever, but you can carry on with your
Bonus though,
gesture if you want.
the
And you
mostly
get an edge.
alcohol hand sanitizer went straight into your bloodstream, and now you're drunk.
No,
I don't think that's how that works.
But I mean, it does work to sanitize the areas fairly well, I guess. Yeah, and it just also hurts a lot. But you know,
So I'm gonna be
do
like,
it.
ooh,
So yeah, you get an edge for
yay!
being weird and cool, I guess.
Being weird. I'll take it.
Nice. You're
All
gonna
right.
need it.
I guess checking in on the drones or whatever. It looks like a group of 4 of these dudes, one of which seems to have a big ass assault rifle in place of his right arm, forearm, whatever. The rest of them have all kinds of big, nasty looking, cyber weapons. More of a melee variety. Like a group of 4 of them are now walking over here. They've walked about half the distance from their place, from their building to the building that is shielding you from them. So they'll either begin to walk through that or around it. Either way, the speed that they're moving is kind of like careful, but somewhat casual, but also kind of alert. So they're not moving super fast. You maybe have a minute or so before they'll notice you immediately, unless you make a bunch of noise.
All right. Have I noticed Jin's awake? Have I seen him pop up on comms or?
Yeah, he's awake now, and he's been slapping himself with some sort of liquid or something, and shivering, but also kind of.
Say, is there any cars or houses or any sort of thing giving off wireless vibes in the area behind the gangers?
Give me a electronics plus intuition for a matrix perception test.
Five plus 5 minus 2 for a total of 8. Eek, 1.
1 hit.
Man, I'm sucking today. The rats have really
Well,
done me in.
Yeah.
You're not really picking up anything that seems to be of use. There's not really much going on here in the Matrix at all. It's pretty barren.
Well, there goes my idea.
All right, I got you. Once I notice you're online, I'll tell you that we got the super racists coming around. See if you can shut down any of their cyberware. And if you're in a lot of pain, I got some bliss in the glove box.
Unfortunately,
I apologize. I should have pointed out that there are some basic comm links around here and there. They're not hard to find.
Okay.
There's nothing terribly important slaved to them that you can see, like no guns or cyberware that you can hack. But yeah, there are basic, fairly low-level comms.
Respectfully, Skipper, I cannot defile my body with any of those substances.
Suit yourself.
Nevertheless, I might be able to shut down some of their cyberware. However, they would probably know that we are here, or at least that they are under attack when it happens. And I'm not at my best right now.
All right. Well, you sit back in the truck then, and I'll see what I can do to handle it.
I mean, so if you're going to go at it, I don't see any reason for me not to also do something.
Well, we don't need to do anything violent yet.
Okay. All right.
Let me just point out that also in this situation, you've pulled the truck up near the building that these dudes are approaching the other side of, and on the second story of this building, kind of partially hanging over the edge of it. And again, this is a husk of a building.
Yeah.
It's still Rooster, who's unconscious and from injuries.
oh
right.
no,
And,
don't worry about me.
Yep. So as I'm going up there trying to recover Rooster, I want to make sure I have my SCK Model 100 submachine gun strapped to my side.
Give me an athletics plus agility test then to kind of bring him down.
Okay.
Or agility -1 if you don't have the skill.
Yeah. What was the thing for insight? Was that 1 edge?
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
basically lets you not suffer the 1 die penalty
I'm
for
gonna spend the 1 edge
defaulting.
on that.
Okay.
Take what I can, so that's gonna be my raw agility. Because I do have 1 cyber hand, but with an agility of 4, but that probably doesn't add anything. Oh no!
It's not a
No,
glitch.
I'm not climbing up there.
All right, no hits, not a glitch. So you kind of like get up in position and start pulling, but you don't really have a very good hold. And when you pull them, I guess you're either going to have to resist damage yourself, or Rooster's going to have to resist damage. One way or the other.
Overflow.
Are you going to cushion a Rooster's fall, or let Rooster take the fall and you'll be fine?
I'll cushion the fall. I haven't taken any damage yet.
Okay, so go ahead and roll body to resist damage as you sort of
Can
pull
you
back.
imagine?
You fall back on the bed, and like Rooster falls down on top of you, and you're banged around a bit.
I'm a heavy dude.
Yeah. Alright,
Yeah.
looks like I got a 1.
There's
Okay,
a
so
lot of
you-
metal on this body.
You are resisting 2 boxes of stuns, so you take 1 stun damage as you fall back.
Done. Alright.
Yeah, as you fall back with Rooster on top of you, leaking all over you and your truck.
Okay. And he's got a full face mask on, right? As part of his armor?
Yes, I've got a helmet on.
Alright, awesome. Just making sure we can't see your tusks.
Oh yeah, good call.
Alright, and with that, I'm just gonna...
Am I close enough to them now?
Yeah, you're basically like you just finished healing. What's his name? Jin, and he sort of sat up and started like sticking stuff on himself and going, oof, I'm fine. And then suddenly there's a whop as suddenly you turn and see, yeah, it looks like the other 2 just fell in the back of the truck behind you. So yeah, they're in range now of some healing. And
So, thinking about how metallic my friend Rooster is, I think for now I'm gonna make him invisible as well, because then I don't have to fight his essence.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast improved invisibility on him.
all right, go ahead and cast the spell then. I don't think there's any essence-related penalty for making someone invisible.
There is not.
I don't think it's resisted by anything unless, Rooster, do you have any sort of qualities or something that would make you resist magic? Like, I guess, magic resistance?
No, I don't.
So I got 3 hits on that.
Okay.
And
Pretty
you now
much
have the
mostly transparent then.
yeah, and you now have the improved invisibility status.
Yeah. Statuses are a new thing. I should take a note in case we talk about status.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, then Skipper, go ahead and roll a perception test for your surveillance drone. Not for you, because you're probably mostly focusing on whatever else is going on, like the person who just fell on top of you. But just for
Yeah.
your drone to notice things on its own.
So that would be, what, double sensors? Alright, looks like I got a 1. If it's double sensors or pilot and sensors, it's the same pool.
I think it's a clear sight autosoft and sensors, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that's
Whatever
right.
the case is.
Which I am running at rank 3, so that's actually a dice pool of 5. Let me roll that with the extra dice. 2 hits.
Okay, with 2 hits, it does pick up on some motion near the building. Not much, though. It's like a dark form sort of creeping up to access the front open area that had been previously guarded by a bunch of gangers.
Uh-oh.
Looks
Alright.
like somebody else is sneaking in there, taking advantage of you guys causing a distraction.
What?
Okay. I'm gonna use a quick minor action to tell my Hornet to track that shape.
Okay, it's having difficulty reacquiring, but it's going to attempt to do that then.
Alright.
In the meantime, yeah, you extricate yourself from
Mhm.
being underneath Rooster,
Underneath.
who's become mostly transparent.
Mm-hmm. It's about 300 pounds of orc and metal.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Alright.
You're hearing the sounds of the gangers calling out, "Anybody there?
Mhm.
Oh!" Like they're probably a good 100 meters or so away at this point, and they might not come upon you for a little while if you maintain being hidden. However, the truck is running.
Yeah.
Hey, what if I did the same thing as I did earlier and spoof a command from like their mamas?
Mhm.
Dinner's ready.
Yeah, if they'd have any sort of alarm system or whatever that you could intentionally trigger, even though this mysterious shape did not.
So this time I'd want to be a little bit more. So I'm gonna go into virtual reality, and then I am going to. I'm much better at brute force, and so I'm gonna try and brute force my way into the highest rating comlink among them.
Okay, they're all pretty low grade comlinks.
I figured.
Bottom of the barrel, because those wouldn't even function at all around here. Looks like they each have some sort of like attachment that boosts their signal to account for the base level of noise in the area. But yeah, they're all pretty low tier comlinks. And you could essentially buy hits to do what you want to them.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is basically break in, get myself user access, and look for a mama or something like that. Like, I don't want to say, "Hey, it's your mom, come home," if they don't have a mom in their phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so you start digging around in their comlinks for that, and again, I'm just gonna have you buy hits for that.
Yeah.
Just to skip some dice rolling. It's pretty easy stuff. And by buy hits, the rule is in the game, any test, if you want, you can just buy hits instead of rolling dice. You get one hit for every full 4 dice that you have in your pool.
So
I'm assuming 2 or 3 hits is enough to
yes.
do this stuff.
Yeah.
Against a pretty low dice pool that's going to maybe get 1 against you. So
especially if I'm taking my time, yeah, it'll be fun.
yeah, these are low-level ganger comlings against a Shadowrunner decker. So we're skipping a bunch of unnecessary dice rolling and using the buying hits to save on that.
Yep.
So with that, you dig around in their comlinks for a while looking for contact information. There's a bunch of junk in there, a lot of nicknames for things. A few things you find like might relate to their mama, but you think are probably references to drug dealers.
What about like kids
the useful
or
tidbits that you
girlfriends or
do find is that they do have some messages from just someone that they mark as the Yaks, as wanting bodies. And that they've been gathering up from a few messages. They've been gathering up basically whatever helpless metahumans they can and selling them to the Yakuza. They've got a batch of them saved up currently. You're not sure how many, at least 3 or 4, maybe more, maybe less, depending on. They're not great about taking notes, right? But they've. If their notes are correct, they've currently got like several different metahumans just currently just in storage that they're going to be selling off to the Yaks. We're going to be picking them up tomorrow night sometime.
Okay, so I'm going to spoof a text from the Yaks saying
one
something
more
like,
thing. Sorry,
Oh, yeah,
one
go
more
ahead.
thing I should say before you carry on. The like authority figure type person that like seems the most mama-like is actually just someone they refer to as the Doctor.
okay, but they do have text from the Yaks, right?
A few here and there, yes.
Or
but
am
there's
I
not much
am I
direct.
sensing that the Doctor is their go-between?
There's more talking about the Yaks than like direct conversations with the Yaks. Though there's some copy and pasted stuff in there. They're
Okay,
not great
so-
about their information security.
So given what you just said, I'm going to spoof a text from Doctor saying something like, Yaks want to meet, bring the bodies now.
Okay. I guess you go ahead and do that. We'll have you buy hits. You spoof the command. At this point, they're about halfway through the building, moving along, and one of them stops and like sends a message that just says, "Hey, we're checking out these sounds. Somebody got hit by rats. There might be some more bodies to pick up. Don't you want us to check that out first?"
I'm intercepting that, buying hits in the same fashion, I imagine.
Yep.
And which I can do. I'm not sure what the
You're
exact.
basically owning these comm links at the moment, so you're in
right.
control.
It would be a. There is something in here. I just don't know what the exact thing is. But yeah, basically respond back, intercept that, stop it from going out, respond back. Something like aggressive, like don't mess around, show up or else, and hope that's at
Okay.
least in character enough that that they're gonna buy it.
Do you have a con skill?
No. Do I have a higher charisma? Highish?
I'll let you do electronics plus charisma then.
Yee.
I was gonna think con plus logic, but let's do it the other way because you're kind of in your
I like
element
it.
here.
For the sake of people watching, intercepting matrix traffic on a device is the snoop action, just so you know.
2. Thank you, Bobby.
You're welcome.
It was right
Okay.
above the spoof. So,
So with that,
It is
they
alphabetical.
pause. They seem to confer for a while, and all but one of them head back. There's one that stays kind of and hangs out in the building and is watching out for stuff to see what happens.
You just
Is
signed
he-
your
is he
death.
running any cyberware?
None that seem to be active on the Matrix. No.
Okay. Is his gun on the Matrix by any chance?
You don't see his gun icon on the Matrix, no.
Okay.
So yeah, with that, it looks like you got rid of 3 out of 4 of these guys. They're heading back to the building. In the meantime, I guess you've got an injured rooster here that's invisible. Are you gonna do something to patch him up? You've got some time to work on him, or
For those just tuning in, there's not a literal rooster that is invisible and damaged.
You've got a rooster.
It's Shadowrun. Anything can happen, man. You gotta explain this.
Yeah.
I've seen that picture going around. Yep, a few times. It's a pretty
So-
badass rooster, but no, that's not the case.
As Rooster is fading from view, and I feel relieved about that. Like, I'm just getting this pounding headache, and I know that there's not much more I can push myself.
You're
So-
taking a lot of drain, and I think you're sustaining 3 spells, which is
I
the
am.
most that you can focus on without suffering penalties.
Yes. So at this time, like, just shakily, I'm holding off from any healing. Sorry, buddy.
It's all right. Anybody got a med kit?
All right.
I have gremlins,
Skipper?
so I'm going to leave that to other people.
That's all right, I'm cool.
Skipper,
I'm
you
comfortable.
managed to extricate yourself from underneath Rooster, and what are you doing? Well, it looks like Jin's busily hacking, doing something to try to throw off these gangers.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna get out and step in front of the truck, and hang out in front, light a cigarette, and kind of maintain overwatch on my Hornet and see what's going on with that. Have I seen that the other gangers broke off?
All right, so you're looking over the gangers are gradually approaching through the building. After about 30 seconds or so, 3 of the gangers break off. The other one moves around a bit and kind of settles into a decent position to keep an eye on things about halfway through the building. It doesn't look like he's got line of sight on your truck or that side of the building at this point. But
All right.
he's hanging out generally, I guess, in the area to see if anything comes through. But the rest of them are heading back towards their other building. Your other drone, in the meantime, has been trying to reacquire some sort of sign of the contact it had before. So go ahead and give me, instead of a whole bunch of different perception tests, let's just give me a perception test with +2 dice.
Okay.
So, what, sensors plus clear sight?
Mm-hmm. So space of 5 plus 2 for a net of 7 with 3 hits.
Okay, with 3 hits, it is able to it's moving around to reacquire contact. It gets down to sort of a ground level, kind of scanning through windows here and there, picks up some movement from one spot to another, but then also it does pick up on another form that's entering the building through the same spot. Seems to be another person in like full armor with a hood up and probably a ballistic mask or a helmet of some kind on.
All right.
There's a couple of people now sneaking into this place.
Okay. How many entrances are there to this building? So just the one big one?
It's a fairly small clinic, so there's one sort of more frontal public entrance that goes to what was the reception area. Then there's another back door on the far side that also has sort of a vehicle loading type entrance as well.
And where did these guys come in from?
These people came in from the front, like the reception area, which was where the gangers were originally hanging out at.
Okay.
So it looks like a couple of people have snuck in after the gangers wandered off, but now most of the gangers are heading back to where the people snuck into.
Okay. So I'm going to climb into my truck then, and while I'm keeping an eye on these guys with the Hornet, I'm going to drive around to the back entrance, and I want to keep a solid, like, from where the back door is, maybe 120 foot or something. Just a good distance. So, in case these guys come out with what we're looking for, I can get a good running start.
Okay. You start maneuvering then. Time goes by. Jin, you get your hacks done. All that goes down. And it sounds like then you're holding off, maintaining the spells. Doesn't look like Rooster's life force is fading away or anything, but he's not regaining consciousness.
Does anyone have a med kit?
No, unfortunately, I do not. I did not assume that we were going to be eaten by rats.
Yeah, that's a negative.
Well, it's been fun playing with you, Bobby.
That's right. I'll join in on the next run.
So I do want to kind of peek out in the astral, just perception, and see if I pick up on anything.
Okay, are you projecting or perceiving?
Perceiving.
All right, so you shift out, kind of move the window aside a little bit so you can take a look through it, because the windows are opaque in astral space. And
Yep.
Go ahead and give me a perception test first, so perception plus intuition. and then you can do an astral plus intuition to get a chance to sense what it is you see.
That's a 4.
Okay, you do indeed see that there's a person who's magically active creeping through the building. It must have been the second form that Skipper picked up on before. They glow brightly in astral space. Not like they have any active spells in them, and they're not actually astrally active, but they are definitely a magician. And with your perception, with your a sensing test, you're able to determine that they're on edge. They're pretty much like they got adrenaline flowing. They're like ready to jump into action at any moment. They don't feel like they belong here. They're like on a mission.
Uh, guys, there's a mage with a spirit sneaking in there.
And then Skipper, I would like you to roll your data processing plus firewall
Uh-oh.
for your surveillance drone.
Yeah, that's not too great, because I kind of rigged this RCC together myself. So that's 1 hit.
Okay, so your drone just reported like that it's under some sort of assault, and it's taking matrix damage. Like it's starting to spark, and like some of the sensor feeds are starting to like go static for a moment.
Oh,
It's under it's under some sort of assault. It doesn't know from what.
All right, I'm just gonna have it fly back to me as fast as possible.
All right,
I
roll.
don't want to get it lost in there.
The same dice pool again.
All right.
What?
Oh no.
It starts to like turn and fly back, and then it just goes offline.
Damn. All right. Well, can we get maybe some astral reconnaissance in there? My
If
drones
I
went
go,
down.
I can, but if I go, I drop the spells that I.
Oh shoot! All right. Well, they're gonna notice any other drones that I send out now.
Mr. Computer guy.
At your service.
It's creepy. Could you maybe like distraction, like maybe send the bad guys over to the other bad guys, and like they could duke it out?
Yes, I will distraction him.
Good job.
Yeah, it does look like there's another hacker out there. They took out one of my drones.
Ooh, this looks like a job for me. And I go in VR and go looking for that guy.
All right, give me a matrix perception test.
GM, also, when I
Yes.
was sensing earlier, was I able to see an astral signature?
Oh yes, you were able to. Well, they didn't have any spells going at the time, so I guess not. So no, not really.
Okay.
There's no spells or spirits active currently.
Okay. Well, there was the one spirit, wasn't there? Or was that the mage
There's-
itself?
There's the magician
Okay.
that you saw going in, but that was like an actual physical form.
Okay,
Like,
gotcha.
you saw that they were magically active, but not astrally active.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
what
it
that
sounds like
means-
another Shadowrun team.
Yeah.
There's what you've spotted at least 2 people going into the place now.
That's a 4 for my matrix perception.
Okay, yeah, at that point, you do indeed. You're looking around, and just the matrix is kind of staticky and weak here. But in a couple of the flickers of the timing of things, hiding and running silent, um, between where it should not be, you see a floating form, and you see, yes, indeed, there is a persona there. Of it appears to be a blue outlined, um, more or less featureless humanoid form.
Hack it.
Are you running silent?
Always.
Well, I guess I'll have you roll something as well, which is, I think, firewall plus sleaze.
Okay. Firewall.
No, I'm sorry. Willpower plus sleaze.
All right. Sleaze is 7. Willpower is 4. Willpower. All right. 3. You said this was a thing. Can I tell anything about it? Like, do I
Definitely a
know-
persona, like another Decker or someone, maybe a technomancer. They definitely notice you as well at about the same time.
Eep.
Do they seem hostile? I'm preparing. I'm not attacking yet.
Yeah, I think they do probably seem hostile. I think it's time
Attack!
to roll initiative.
Like, I'm only cautious to a point.
So yeah, I guess roll your matrix initiative.
Woo-wee!
The rest of you, there isn't really a reason to roll initiative, so we'll see if we can resolve this quickly before we finish for the session.
Cool.
All right.
What kind of programs do you have loaded? Let's talk Matrix, guys.
Yeah, I am running Baby Monitor, of course, because you always do. It does the same thing. I'm doing Browse, which is irrelevant for here. Edit, again, irrelevant. We already talked about Signal Scrubber. I have Armor, which gives me +2 to my defense rating. A biofeedback filter, allowing me to use my device rating or body when soaking Matrix damage. I have Blackout, which basically gives stun damage, biofeedback stun damage. Exploit, which reduces the defense rating of the hacking target by 2. Fork, which can hit 2 targets with a single matrix action without splitting die pools. And Overclock, which adds 2 dice to a matrix action. One of them is a wild
What's
die.
your data processing?
7.
So that's I wanted to point out. So those 5E Matrix veterans out there are probably thinking right now, WTF? You just listed all the programs. There's no way you can be using all of them. But actually, in 6th edition, the data processing rating of your device is what limits how many programs you can have running.
Yeah, so I'm running the attack ones right now, not the Baby Monitor, Browse, Editor, Signal. Well, I am running the Signal Scrubber too.
Yeah, no, that's a good point though. My homemade RCC, it's janky as hell, but it can still run 3 programs.
Yep.
So I got an 18 for my Matrix initiative. Oh my god!
Yeah, I rolled one too many dice. I'm going to take one of them off. So they got 24, which is still faster than you.
Good news.
And
That just means they get to go first, and then you get to go back and forth. It doesn't mean they get to go 3 times for each of your 2, like it used to.
Fair enough.
here we go. They're going to go brute force on you first, so roll your willpower plus firewall.
Five.
All right, they fail, but they have enough minor actions to cash in for a second major, so they're going to go for it again.
Were we
they'll
supposed
actually
to compare?
we should be doing that, yes. I've got 11 for my total versus your defense rating in cyber combat.
What is defense for cyber combat? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
First defense for cyber
Data
combat?
processing plus firewall.
Oh, okay. 13.
Okay, so no.
You know why this is
Standout
happening,
bonus
right?
there.
Because I have a Shiawase deck. It's a
All right,
cyber
so-
6.
Shiawase,
It's amazing.
yay.
Their second
Shiawase.
action, instead of another brute force, I think they're just going to try data spiking you. So first they kind of turn and try to just send a bunch of blue lightning code lines at you, and they just sort of break away and shatter instead of getting into your stuff. But then seeing that doesn't work, suddenly there's bright red eyes that flare and just shoot out laser beams of hostile code at you.
So
with
are
the
they
data
using
spike.
2 major actions, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Wow.
So they have 1 major and 4 minor, so they're going to do 2 major instead, because you can cash out 4 minor for 1 major.
Right. So while you're rolling that, I'll tell the chat who's listening. Brute force is what this other decker was likely trying to do was gain user access to Jin's cyber deck, the device that
Now,
he's
Jin, roll your data processing plus firewall to resist the data spike.
All right.
And the data spike is what you're all familiar with. It's just straight up damage to the cyber deck.
4.
And they got 4 as well, which is even up. Would you like to spend edge?
Nope.
Then go ahead and resist. I believe it's just with your firewall. But let me take a look at this. Matrix damage.
I am running biofeedback filter, so my device rating can also soak.
Ooh. Nice.
My device rating is... I don't know.
I'm not sure if it's resisted by anything. I'm trying to look here. In 5th edition, you resist with willpower plus firewall, but I don't see, a body roll or something to soak damage from a data spike.
I'm looking too, just so you know.
I can at least use 5 for my device rating.
Well, the condition is going to be 8 plus device rating divided by 2. And the damage from this is attack rating divided by 2, rounded up, plus 1 per net hit. There's no net hits, so you've got, it looks like 3 matrix damage coming at your cyber deck.
Okay.
There's
So what's
no
the...
biofeedback damage, so I think you just take 3 matrix damage. Which I
Okay.
don't think you take penalties for. It's just when it's filled up, then your device is bricked. And
Okay,
then
well-
now it's your turn.
Wait. But like I said, my biofeedback filter allows me to use device rating to soak matrix damage. Does that not work? Or am I reading it wrong?
I'm not sure. That doesn't sound like what it should do.
Allow device rating or body to soak matrix damage. That's the whole thing it says.
Okay. I guess roll device rating to soak damage then. Sounds good.
All right.
I'm not
So
sure if that's the
hopefully-
right thing, but we'll do that and move on.
2.
Okay, so you take 1 box of matrix damage from that.
All right.
And I need to step away for just a moment.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to return fire. I'm just talking now. I'm going to overclock, which is adding 1 dice to my matrix action. One of them is a wild die. And then I'm also going to be upping or reducing the defense rating of my hacking target by 2. And yeah, that should be all the relevant stuff.
All right.
And I think I'm going to data spike this fragger. Now, is that a hacking attack? I wonder, like, how can you tell? Like, do you understand my question? Like, because there's a specialty hacking, but like, what's hacking versus not?
I think.
All right, pardon me.
Oh, for the specialization in the cracking skill?
Yeah. Cliff, what would you say would be a hacking test versus not a hacking test? Like, I have a specialization in hacking. Would you say that data spike is hacking?
Good question.
Hold on, I'm seeing a hack action. Hacking actions are listed under this header. That just all illegal stuff?
That would be everything under cracking, though, which would also cover cyber combat, which I think should be different maybe than a hacking test. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it breaks it up, though. It seems
When it says
indistinct.
hacking actions are listed under this header, it's referring to brute force and probe. Probe hack.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just brute force and the probe hack actions.
That would make sense.
So, well, it says brute force is a hack, right?
Yeah, but data spike I think would not be. I think that would be covered under the cyber combat specialization.
So, what would be the benefit of doing brute force versus data spike? Brute force you wouldn't do as much damage, right?
I don't think you do any.
Brute force wouldn't necessarily do any damage. It lets you get
You would
greater
just get
levels
control.
of access to do, other things with stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to beat someone up, data spike is pretty much what you want to go for.
Okay, well, let's
most
do
of the
data
time.
spike then. That's
Okay.
cracking versus cracking and logic. I do have analytical mind, which gives me a bonus edge anytime I make a logic-based test.
Okay,
So
so
that'll
you're going to get an edge for that.
give me an edge.
But I think comparing stats, you're going to be about, close enough to that neither side gets a bonus.
12. My matrix attack and my sleaze. So my attack rating for my deck is 15.
Oh, 15. Never mind. That is just enough. So you do gain an edge, plus the edge for your analytical mind, so 2 edge.
All right, so I'll be rolling 12, but I'm actually using overclock, so I'm going to be rolling 13 dice plus a wild die. And his defense rating is actually 2 less, and his defense rating is... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, his defense rating is 2 less. Exploit. So if I didn't mention that before. So here's my 13 dice for 3, and here's my wild die. Hopefully it's not a 1. It is 4. Nope. So just 3 successes.
All right, you've got 1 net hit.
So that is 9 damage. Suck it, Trebek. No, wait, that's not true. That's not true. Data spike is not just straight attack damage. It's attack divided by 2. So okay, it'll actually be 5 with an additional. So yeah, so you 5.
All right, yeah, you blast into them, and you can see that you've definitely shaken and damaged their form. Bits of code are sort of
And
peeling
it
away,
does
being blurred.
stun damage to the decker.
You've got biofeedback.
I
ready?
have blackout. Yeah, it's not biofeedback. It's like biofeedback, but it only does stun damage. Because I don't like killing people. It doesn't seem fair.
Eh,
Okay. Yeah, it
Rooster
seems to
likes
hit them
killing
pretty hard. Do you have any other actions?
What do you get? A minor action for like? How do you calculate minor actions?
1 minor action plus 1 for every initiative die that you roll.
Okay, so I can trade in another one to do that again, right?
You've got 4 minor
think so.
actions or more.
Yeah.
You can cash them in for another major to do this again.
Man, let's
yes.
crush
Yeah.
your
That's what they did to
ass.
you.
Yeah, let's crush your ass. Same thing. Overclock it. 5. And here's my wild die. Yes. So 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
All right, you got 5
Eat it.
dead hits.
So that would be a total of 9 matrix damage, or 9 stun damage.
Oh man.
Okay, yeah, you can see
Damn.
like the form of the code rip apart, but then also like something deeper like within, like you connect to the biofeedback damage, doubling on top of that, you just rip them just asunder out of the matrix.
That's right.
Wow!
Don't
and undefeated once again, it is Jin, the most magnificent brute force techer in Chicago.
We'll end the session on that high note.
Yeah. Good.
And-
I just imagine
Not the-
that icon flying off the screen like in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I should have described this. Jin's icon is a genie that's swirling around in purple and red, just like angry genie.
Wow. Cool.
You know, like Jafar. You know what I mean? At the end of Aladdin,
That's
Just-
pretty cool.
angry,
Bobby,
throwing lightning.
How much edge are you sitting on with Rooster at this point?
2.
All right, I'm gonna give you 2 points of edge so you can buy that box of damage back and have Rooster wake up.
Okay.
If it's the end of the session too, I'll spend 2 of my edge to give him 1.
Oh, there we go. Yep. So you somehow managed to get like some edge to like heal up a box to not be unconscious at the end of the session. So.
All right. 10 physical. I'm hobbling, but I'm awake. All right. Well, that was another session 2 with 6th edition Shadowrun. How are you guys feeling about it? Thanks for the cheer, Cold Equation.
I feel good. That was hot. That was hot stuff.
This
I
one,
feel a lot better this session.
this one
Aside
feels
from
better.
the devil rats, that
Yeah.
was pretty weak sauce.
I didn't get bit.
It was strong sauce right there.
Yeah. So this session definitely felt better. I feel like I got some, but I have like there were some notes. I feel like I don't know that I feel any better about the armor change. I think it's hard to say, right? Like I'm still saying I'm reserving judgment a little bit, because this was kind of like a weird situation, right? We got attacked by these rats that were a lot more deadly than we thought they were going to be, but it did feel a little weird that on the first attack, but see, I really have to reserve judgment because I'm saying like, oh, I got 5 damage in 1 hit, but that was also I didn't get a defense because I was surprised, right? So there's stuff
they
there,
had
but the
concealment.
damage it did feel weird to take 5 damage and not have my armor help me any. Whether or not it's balanced, I'm not sure yet. So that's one issue, right? But it did feel weird. I will say that.
Yeah.
How are you?
Not getting your defense test definitely sucks as well.
Yeah, especially
So,
if you don't get a
I think-
soak, or you get
It
to only
all-
soak with your body.
All your armor did in that situation was it denied them getting an edge point when they attacked you. So, yeah, it seems like maybe your armor should do more. I'm already toying with the idea of some sort of a house rule, having armor somehow involve some sort of soak effect, but I don't know.
Having said that, right? We didn't go up against things that also would not have armor. Like going up against a team of runners, I'm curious as to how that would play out instead.
Yeah, we
Does that
might,
make sense?
we
Like,
might get
because
that chance.
devil rats don't have armor normally anyway. You know what I mean? So like that's a weird comparison to make us fighting devil rats. I would be interested to see how much more deadly it is for other people with armor. You know what I mean? Like that aren't like devil rats. I think playing it more will help. Having said that, I want to say if Bobby's gonna say something that he's still not sure about, hacking feels freaking dope.
Yeah.
Like getting in the Matrix felt very easy. It felt very fun.
That's really refreshing to hear you say that, because at the end of the last session you were feeling really iffy about hacking.
That's only because I really didn't grok it quite yet.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, to be fair, not
getting
only
in
is
the
it your
Matrix
first
and
time
like
doing
having
it
a fight, Like, how many times have you ever had a damn fight because you just don't want to do that? Like, it just takes too much time and it's too much effort to have your decker fight another decker. But this was like super easy, super fast. It was over in a round, and I just kicked some ass. So it felt pretty damn good to me. I have to admit.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that.
Also, being able to see in real time how that trading 4 minors into a major works, getting to attack twice in one round, that actually was really cool. So I assume the Street Sams are going to do that too, and it's going to be super dope.
I did use it in our last session, but it wasn't as obvious because I used it to do some sort of like preparing a weapon at the same time as using it, because readying a weapon is a major action. So
I had the same thing earlier this session too, when I was shooting those Devil Rights that were attacking you, Opti. As soon as I finished my turn, I'm like, oh man, I forgot I still have 4 minor actions that I could turn around and shoot him again with.
Yeah.
It's a different thing I'm still kind of wrapping my head around, but I really like it.
Right. Yeah, I like it too.
Something that I didn't see as much come into play with the minor actions is you can spend a minor action to, if you have the athletics skill, add your athletics ranks to your dice pool on any defense test, whether it's melee or ranged. Or if you have a close combat skill, if it's a melee attack, you can spend a minor action to block to add your close combat skill ranks to that defense test. So I could see Street Samurai taking greater advantage of this. Like any Street Samurai adepts, people with like higher close combat and athletics, using a lot of those minor actions defensively.
So
reminded me a little bit like the classic combat pool, where you'd like have a certain amount of dice that you could use to like dodge with or resist damage with, or put towards your attacks.
Yeah, so dodge is a minor action, and that's what you're talking about. You can use your athletics to, because I have an athletics skill. I did not realize that I could have used that. That would so you're saying would that have given me
not have helped you against your the bum rush when they attacked you and you had like no idea it was coming.
Oh, right, because that
follow-up ones would have helped with.
So does that dodge just add to your defense rating or some sort of a test?
To your dice pool.
From
what I can
for
tell.
soaking?
No, for like getting out of the way of the attack. So
oh, right, because that's an opposed
if they attack
test,
you with their close combat plus agility for their dice pool, you avoid with reaction plus intuition.
You're right. That's really useful. One of the things I was thinking was it didn't feel like I was very tough, and it might just be because I wasn't. Well, my situations in this run was unique because I got attacked by a swarm of rats.
And the venom was really nasty.
Well, yeah, because
I'm not sure.
Yeah, really, my situation was a surprise attack that I didn't get to defend anyway, and then the second damage I got was from the venom. Now, while I was conscious, I will say that attacking felt really, really good. We've already said it once that anybody who's going to play a guns-based character, you got to look into that anticipation edge use.
So oddly, here's what felt weird to me. Like, the damage on my mighty Shiawase Arms Monsoon is 4. Right? So, like, you get shot in the fragging face with my big, huge-ass rifle. That does 4p damage. If a rat bites you, you take 5 immediately. Like, that disparity seems weird to me.
Well, one of the
and I don't
things
know
was
if there's something I'm missing.
The rats were doing 2 damage base plus 1 per net hit.
The poison, though?
The poison, though, was based on the magic rating. The venom.
Yeah,
the
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, that
power.
just seems really powerful for rats.
Yeah, it does, and I think it's worth considering, like maybe cutting the power of the venom for the rats at least down in half. But
that's
I don't
a good
know.
point. Like, maybe Slip Chicken says, like, maybe it's an abstraction for it being a swarm of rats. I could see you being bitten a bunch and
No, the
Still, it just felt
the
I
actual
don't know.
venom though. Okay, the way the swarm worked is I just used the grunt rules, and what you do is you group them up into groups of up to 5, and each additional one that's attacking besides the first one, you add 1 to the attack rating of the main attack. Then for every 2 people that are helping, you also add 1 additional dice to the dice pool. So in the case of these rolls, I was basically attacking with 1 demon rat being supported by 4 devil rats. So I was doing a demon rat with +4 to its attack rating, bringing it up to, I think, 12, and then +2 to its dice pool.
Right.
Okay.
And then it did damage value of 2 plus net hits, which, was, I rolled lots of hits on, the roll that wasn't defended against, so Rooster took a big chunk of damage, and then Jin took a little bit of damage, but then both of them got the venom.
Yeah.
The venom power, it was, I think, was where they got really nasty, because that does base damage starting equal to the magic rating.
Is there a
Oh,
toxin
basically.
filter in the rules? Because that seems like something you'll definitely want.
Yeah, I think there is.
The demon rats had the demon rat, which is making the main attack, they had a magic rating of 6. So you're looking at 6 damage from the venom, and then 5 the next round, then 4 the round after that, then 3, then 2, then 1. Instead of doing that, I had them count their damage resistance soak rolls towards cutting down the power. So it was more or less down to nothing after that next round, which was enough, right? We dropped 2 of the people on the team, mostly with the venom.
So I have one thing I want to say about the deadliness of combat and also healing, and then I want to ask Sarah how she felt about magic. The combat so far feels pretty deadly, especially surprise can be incredibly deadly. So there's a lot of armor is a really touchy subject right now. Like, we don't know how that's going to shake out and how it feels. We're starting to get an idea. But one thing I can say, having looked at the healing rules, is that healing is a lot easier to do quickly in a run. And if we had med kits or someone with first aid skill, you could ostensibly, if you have a magician who can heal, a med kit, and someone with the first aid who can do first aid, you could heal up tons of damage after you're done with a fight and then move on.
I think that was the case in 5th as well, though.
I'm
not sure it's
but
similar
things
in this.
feel a lot simpler and more fluid to me with healing in this one. It seems to be.
Sarah, you're the one who's been able to do some of the healing with some healing magic, but also with other stuff. I guess, what's your take on today's session and your character's part in it?
I'm still feeling it out with some of the new rules and like the new drain and stuff, and getting a balance for
That's what I want to know.
what that's
going to
look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, you can do some cool stuff, but so I'm definitely like, I'm more into the role play than the crunch side of things.
Sure.
So I don't build a character just to min-max. I build a character. So I was like, I want to be a stealth mage. So here's all these things that I want to do. And because of some of the edge rules and stuff, I feel like I'm not able to gain edge as quickly as someone that's attacking things.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that.
It really is. Because
that can be something that's addressed in like a magic book later.
Yeah, and there are spells that help your edge, but again, it's just it feels, based on how I wanted to build my character, now what I've got, I'm like, okay, so basically what I can do is what we were talking about with increased reflexes and getting some extra major actions. But again, I'm not sure how much that's really going to help me, because I take so much drain. Like, I'm at 8 stun right now, and I have 3 boxes left, and I'm done. So like, and the way physical works now is only if you get enough hits to exceed your magic rating, which we've all seen how I roll, so that's unlikely. So like, it's pretty much, for me, it's stun and done. Like,
yeah.
So I think finding the balance of that, like, and figuring out what's worth it and what's not. And healing is kind of expensive because you're fighting five stun or 5 drain, and then any hit that you actually heal, any box you heal adds to that drain value.
Yeah. Oh wow, yeah. And drain definitely feels like it picks up. One thing I did notice is correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't healing happen instantaneously? Magic healing happen instantaneously? Didn't in 5th edition you have to sustain it for a number of rounds?
I think most other editions you did. From what I can tell in this one, unless I'm missing something, which is highly likely, I'll admit, it looks like you just do a complex action, or rather a major action, to cast a spell, and then boom, the healing's done.
That's pretty cool because
Yeah.
you can do it in combat.
And I was wrong. I'm just looking at heal again, and you're just fighting the 5 stun. It's not, or the 5 drain. It doesn't add on.
Oh, okay.
It's
cool.
increased reflexes that adds on.
Yeah, and I think you haven't used any stim patches yet either, so...
I have not, but
That's
I'm
right.
kind of biding my time because with
Right.
3 boxes left, if I take one of those, then I have, a few minutes and I'm done?
Up to an hour, but yeah.
Oh, it's up to an hour? Okay.
You guys definitely seem to be having a not easy time of things.
But I will say again, like, it felt fun today.
Yes, it did.
Like
Cool.
Getting our ass kicked, notwithstanding, like it was still fun, and I didn't
Yeah.
hate it. Like there's nothing that made me want to take my ball and go home at all.
And that's
Like, it was
important.
just-
Sometime early in the stream, Gamers Tavern Show in the chat, Daryl. He made a point that I thought was really good, which is someone was talking about balance and armor and different new systems and stuff like that. And he made the point, which I agree, and sounds like you would too, Opti, that balance is really, really relative, and what's really important is that you're having fun. Like it's hard to say what is balanced and not when, like, the point is that you're having fun. Like, if combat feels like it's really deadly now, more so than it was before, but we're having fun doing it. So is that worse? Like maybe it's just encouraging us to not jump into combat or to be more careful. Like who knows? It's hard to say.
That's something that I always tell my players, at least my philosophy on Shadowrun combat versus something like Dungeons and Dragons or Traveler or something else, is that if it's a fair fight with Shadowrunners, you're probably going to lose. The other side's always going to be more equipped, better trained. They understand the layout of the land, all that kind of stuff, and they can always call in reinforcements. And I like the idea that these rules and how lethal it is kind of reinforces that, like, no, if you're going to get into a fight with someone, you want to get the drop on them.
Yeah.
You want to catch them off guard. You want to have everything going in your favor to stand a chance.
Yeah, and Rooster's
And even then, you
feeling the
don't want to
other
get
end of
into
that.
outright combat.
Yeah.
Something that Sarah said is curious to me, in that I think you can only get edge for attack spells, if I'm reading it right. And so that's a weird thing. Like, if you're not an attack mage, like, how do you build your edge back up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that, because that doesn't seem intuitively right, but maybe
Yeah, if you find something like...
I'm not seeing it.
dig into that.
It might just be more freeform beyond that too, because I know, like, for social encounters, it does have a list of, like, here's some sample reasons why someone might have edge in a social encounter.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that with stealth stuff either. It might just be much more of a sense of, like, okay, well, if they're trying to hide and it's really dark in the room, they get a point of edge or something like that.
So yeah, Cliff, as a GM, not that you are beholden to my desires at all, but it would be cool, like, if she was casting some sort of, like, invisibility to maybe compare her magic up against their perception, and maybe give an edge that way. That would seem fair to me. I don't know.
I was looking up, there might be something in mentor spirits.
Or maybe if there's a quality or or something that would give you edge that would like I have what was it? What did I say earlier? I have analytical mind, which gives me an edge anytime I make a logic-based test.
Hmm.
So maybe there's something like that.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
all do edge boost cost less for certain circumstances, but I don't see an edge gaining thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think making someone invisible might put them in a situation where they might be able to gain edge over someone who's not invisible. But the actual casting of the invisibility spell, though, yeah, it doesn't really have the back and forth where you compare things to see who has edge over the other. So
Right. The other thing too, like I'm feeling like with the amount of drain that you're facing and with my rolling, I feel like I have like 5 pieces of candy. And like I have to choose when to like give out those pieces of candy. Even though like I could do this and I could like outthink this and I could do this cool thing. I feel like it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that because I only have 5 pieces to last me for the night.
Yeah.
yeah,
I felt that too. I felt like I really spent my edge too quick, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, I did that last session, and so this session I was hanging on to it a lot more and trying to keep it around like 2 or 3 in the pocket. You know, I have a base edge rating of 4.
One thing that we weren't doing, and I don't know if it's because it just wasn't the right scenario or if it was just that we didn't think about it, but we weren't taking a moment to think about, you know, our advantage on our turn. I know at one point Mr. Johnson did actually make an explicit point to tell someone that they had advantage. I think it was you, Austin.
Yeah, for my as technology crawler on top of the truck with the high ground.
I was thinking about it, but Rooster's situation was he was right up next to a bunch of rats, and there was no like it didn't feel like I can't get height advantage. What was I gonna drop a smoke grenade at my feet? Like there was nothing I could do, but I was thinking about how could I do that. I did, you know, so you do have to. It's still gonna. I'm still waiting to see whether or not the earning edge is happening as fast as we've been told it's supposed to be back and forth, right? So
it seems to come up the more often when there's more conflict. So when you're doing less conflict-oriented stuff, there's fewer opportunities to gain edge.
well, yeah, absolutely. But in this combat situation, I guess is what I mean, that it didn't feel like there was.
You know what I would think about this, honestly, and this is a cop out, I know, but I would think that this is an opportunity for other books to expand on what Edge can do later.
Right.
To add like other qualities and to add other, you know, things that would essentially fill that gap that Sarah's feeling right now.
Well, for magicians, I think for sure. I don't feel like for me that I am at any kind of a lack for things to do with edge. I feel like I have plenty of stuff to do with it. I just don't.
Well,
Go ahead.
having the drain codes sort of increased so much, while also sort of not having any way to help mitigate that drain, is pretty tough for the magicians. So in a way, that 5 pieces of candy, that's like, yeah, that's with rolling decent on the drain tests and probably slapping a stim patch on at some point. Right? So it pulls it back in, because I think in previous editions, 5th is certainly to some degree, like, magic was pretty overpowering. Like, it was better than everything else.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to find that balance where like improved invisibility, I'm fighting 4 stun, so like, or 4 drains, so like that's not as bad, so I can wing that out a little bit more. So it almost feels like like D&D-ish, like what level spell am I casting, but I don't feel like I have any cantrips that I can just like dish out. And
so does it feel like the drain values are just a tad too high? Is that the real problem?
maybe, or maybe it's how I built. Maybe I should have, because my magic rating is maxed out, but my tradition is hermetic, and maybe I should have just poured my stat points into that, but I wasn't sure what to expect in terms of blocking things, and so I like tried to even it out a little bit more. But again, like I don't want to. It's not my style to build based on min-maxing. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it looks like reagents are quite useful for avoiding drain.
Good. That's the next section I'm looking
Not
into.
for-
I didn't have the money.
Not for spell casting though.
Really, I just scrolled past it for spirits and for alchemy and stuff, but not for spellcasting.
They don't seem to have any use at all for spell casting.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Unless I missed
okay.
So I wonder if we can
I
get a
might
bunch
have.
of heal potions. Is that a thing? Can we do in with alchemy?
It certainly looks like it. Yeah, I do like it. The higher focus on reagents is nice because that was something that happened a lot in 5th edition too. Was magic users, because they could recover their drain so easily, they didn't really have a whole lot to spend their cash on, and so they were always, at least in my groups, was always the ones with the nicest apartments compared to everyone else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for me, it was more like I would go to a talismonger and buy things that I could break down and then learn the spells for and crap like that, and build a really nice lodge.
You can spend reagents to reduce drain for making alchemical preparations, and you can spend them to gain edge while summoning spirits.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
But
list. It
you
looks
can't
like
spend them to at all in actual just straight up spell casting.
yeah, ritual
can spend a reagent-
spellcasting, magical lodges, artificing, and alchemy. But it
And increasing your counterspelling area, which counterspelling works
Interesting.
very differently in this edition. That's a whole other
Yeah.
conversation to have at some
Yeah.
point.
I like how it works better now. But like you
Yeah.
said, a conversation for another time because we are running a little bit late. I'm a general. Let's go around the table one time and quick one sentence. Where you are right now with things. We'll start with Sarah.
I'm having a lot of fun, and I like the characters. I like playing with you guys and everything. I reread a lot of the edge rules, major and minor actions to feel more comfortable, and spellcasting in general, but I did not get time to really deep dive into all the options with spirits and reagents and and foci and all this extra stuff. So like that's my goal for this week, and I'm hoping that I can figure something out in terms of making it a little more balanced. But like regardless, it's within my character to choose how she's going to use the spell casting that she's going to use. So
Right.
I'm still enjoying it, and I like a lot of the changes, and I like listening to you guys. So
Well,
that was a long sentence. That was
Yeah.
a really big run-on.
That's all right. You can have it. Opti, how you feeling? Where are you right now?
Decking is way better. I'm enjoying it, and Jin fragging rules. Bam.
What about you, Skipper Austin?
I'm really enjoying this session a lot more than the first one. I still really enjoyed the first session, but now that we've all had a chance to let the rules kind of sink in, reevaluate stuff,
It definitely
And
felt
it-
faster this time.
it feels a lot faster. It feels a lot smoother.
Yeah. Even though you lost a drone, huh?
I did lose a drone. Well, maybe I can recover it and fix them up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, if you can recover it, it's just got to repair the matrix track, right?
Yeah,
So-
I got 3 more nat drones to spy around. I'm good.
Yeah, I feel like I had a lot of fun this time too. Combat feels fun. What I like about Edge, what I like about the Edge system is I feel like I have a toolbox of fancy tricks that I'm thinking about all the time. Especially as a character who has a high Edge attribute and gets a lot of, like a Street Sam style character who gets a lot of minor actions, and I feel like I have a toolbox of things to do.
So can I piggyback on that just real fast? Like instead of I shoot him again, I shoot him again, I shoot him again, I really don't know what I'm going to do from turn to turn. And that feels fun to me.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I'm always looking at my list of actions and edge boosts and stuff, and I'm like, what's going to happen? How can I do something? The main thing I'm thinking about right now and looking ahead to see is are we gonna, when we finally get into a combat situation that feels more like vanilla or generic, how will the the edge gaining feel. Like I want to see.
Yeah, I want to see how this plays out, like runners versus runners, or
Yeah.
like against some of the other metahumans at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we did have like the group of gangers before, but that was a little bit of something. I don't really feel like we've really stretched our legs yet.
Yeah, exactly. But still feeling better about it than I did last time, definitely. But do you have any final thoughts, Mr. Johnson, before we say goodbye to everybody?
With me, just it was fun. I've been enjoying it. But yeah, damn, critters are scary now. They weren't so scary before. Their critters are scary again, and there's things I like about that and things I don't like as much about that. I feel like I want to house rule that venom a little bit because it seems really dangerous.
Pretty harsh.
It's also my first time playing with it, so maybe maybe it makes more sense in other areas. I don't know, but it was fun. I had fun doing the attack. I think I was nastier with the rats than I had to be. And I'm used to like having to like scrape out every little advantage to make rats, like devil rats, even slightly scary.
Yeah.
And like this time, I could have killed you guys if I really poured it on.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I was curious because the demon rats and glitch rats aren't in 5th edition, are they? Or maybe they're in Howling Shadows.
The demon rats might have been glitch
Demon
rats.
rats. Yeah. I've never heard of glitch rats. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but
Yeah, and I like that because that also allows you as the GM to kind of build out more adventures that might focus on that. Like, yeah, you just have to get this briefcase someone dropped into the sewer in the middle of a glitch rat, hive
Yeah.
or something.
Right.
And that can become a really deadly adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, for
I
sure.
do enjoy having the shorthand for like lumping them together, sort of the swarm rules.
Yes.
It's
Oh my god, that's wonderful.
it speeds things up a lot. It feels like it's not as dangerous, but it's already a pretty dangerous system, so it's dangerous enough.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the system is lacking in danger.
Yeah. And having that full auto anticipation combo was really good for lumping them together when killing them.
When you did that, it immediately made me think we all should have done that right off the bat, and we wouldn't have gotten nearly as damaged.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Alright,
that should have been our round one thing, and it wouldn't have been an issue.
Oh yeah. Keep it in my pocket for my crawler again.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight and watching. We definitely had a blast, and there was a lot of really good conversation in the chat. Thank you to all those people who, special thanks to all the people who subbed during our show. We really appreciate that. That helps support the network. And a special thanks to all of you guys who are playing with me tonight. Thank you guys. So.
Yes, thanks
Thank
to
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
We will be back in 2 weeks to continue this adventure. And is it in 2 weeks? That's not.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Thanks. Thanks so much for joining me.
Yep. May 30th. Tune in, and we got a lot of stuff. Just check the schedule. We're doing plenty of stuff all the time. And have fun, guys, and bye, chummers.
Peace
Have a
out,
good one.
all.